Yo.
What's up? We're back. Yes. Less than 24 hours and we're back. Yeah, today's topic, we just want to complete the TV shows. Any retro TV shows before 2000? Yesterday, you had a chance to check that out. If not, it's uploaded. We did about 4 hours just talking about comedies, sitcoms that we grew up with, and game shows. So, um, just special thanks to Channel Dawnstar Robbie for joining. But today is just me and John solo. We're gonna pound through these TV shows. That's anything, pretty much prime time TV shows that fall in the genres of drama, action, sci-fi. Even there's some horror ones. There's crime ones. Some reality shows. And at the end, we're going to talk about some of the variety shows, both adult and children variety shows, along with some shows with music and dancing. So pretty much anything that wasn't discussed in the previous stream, such as cartoons or sitcoms, all TV shows are going to be discussed in here, so we can move on to film.
Yep.
So, John, what's up?
All right, man. So, like WHOREDER said, we're gonna cover pretty much everything else, all the different genres other than sitcoms. You're gonna see a lot of, different, like I said, not comedy, but like horror and action, adventure, sci-fi. You're gonna see all this stuff, and we're gonna span probably a good 4 decades here, maybe 5 even. So you want to kick it off, WHOREDER, or you want me to kick it off tonight?
Oh, why don't you start?
All right, so I'll start. And this is a show that only lasted, I think, 1 season. It was from 1982 to 1983. Not sure if WHOREDER has this on his list, but it was a show I enjoyed when I was a kid, and that's called Voyagers, the complete series. Basically, what this show is about, it's only 20 episodes. There was a pirate called Phineas Bogg. He travels to the future. He meets this little kid who's like a history buff, and they travel in time to do certain things. So it was kind of like Quantum Leap before Quantum Leap became a show. And tragically, the guy who played the main character in this, Phineas Bogg, sounds like around the world in 80 days type of shit. But he went on another show and he got bored, and he was playing with like a handgun, which was had a blank in it, but the pressure from the blank actually, he just fired it and went into his skull or whatever, and he basically killed himself with a gun that had a blank in it. So out of boredom or whatever. But yeah, he was a good actor and everything in that show. He didn't really do much. Like I said, he did that show and another show after that, but tragically he died. But it was real good, man. And you can get the complete series on DVD, Voyagers. So
What year?
This is from 82 to 83.
Okay, so it only lasted one
season, 20 episodes. So
okay,
yeah, not long at all.
So we got 4 people watching. Thanks, guys. This was kind of like a last thing. We decided to finish off the TV shows. Within 24 hours. So hey, what's up, Outlaw? So a lot of my list. Are you going no particular order?
No, I'm not going in any particular order.
Because I'm gonna come in with the guns, man. I'm coming in with the goods off the bat. So, what's up, Tony? Tony Friday, the 14th in the house. Blu-ray Outlaw, of course.
Nice.
So, my primetime show that I actually just picked this up last week, and I'm watching some episodes. So it's Wow, very nostalgic watching these. You know, has that common, you know, theme when it comes on. You're like, oh shit, and that is Steven Spielberg's amazing stories. So this came out, I want to say, in 1985, 1986, so 2 seasons. Unfortunately, I can't get a handle on season 2. This is season 1, and it has 24 episodes. So there's a total of like 48 in the season. But they do have part 2 released somewhere in Europe, but region B-Lock. So, but the thing is that is definitely like going for big money. So, you guys, you know, those that are at the pawn shops, you guys in Tennessee, man, hook a brother up. Kentucky.
Like pawn shops over in the UK, maybe.
Yeah, but you're gonna like, it's crazy the amount of actors that were in here. Like I said, I've only watched 2, but apparently, you know, Harvey Keitel, Charlie Sheen, Gregory Hines. I don't even know who that is, but it has to be someone famous. Dom DeLuise, Robert. So a lot of famous actors. So it's kind of like a show, a variety show that will, just an hour-long show that has a good story. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to mention any other shows because that's going to be on our list. But every show is kind of unique to itself, but it's all directed by Steven Spielberg, which is great. So I don't know. I think this was doing very successful, and then he just focused on, of course, his movie career. Are you familiar with this at all?
Yeah, definitely. That's one that I want to get in my collection. I don't really classify that as a variety show. I call it like an anthology series. Like, I think that's what we would call it, you know, more like an anthology series, like other ones that we're probably gonna mention. So, but yeah, that's one that I loved growing up, man. I remember, I think it was, I want to say there was an episode where they were on a World War II plane, and the dude was like a cartoonist, and he was like in the gunner turret underneath the World War II plane, and they lost their landing gear, and he had to actually draw on a paper.
Yes, I remember that.
So that was like awesome.
Yeah, the first episode I actually remember pretty good. It was the one where there was this grandfather and his family, his son and grandson and daughter-in-law came and built a house on his land, but it was in direct traffic of old railroad tracks where he could run. And so the train, he kept saying, I have a ticket to get picked up on that train for this date. It had the date of like tomorrow coming up. So he was trying to tell him, no, the train's coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? And all of a sudden that night, this train comes plowing through the house, and just brought back memories.
Do you remember the one with I think it was, I want to say it was John Cryer, or yeah, I think it was John Cryer. He was an episode where he like wanted to create a woman, and he made some kind of like weird like goop, like kind of like he was like a nerdy type, made some goop, and he was pouring out a magazine trying to like bring like kind of like almost like a weird science type. He was trying to bring this like woman to life from the magazine, and he kept fucking up. So it would like he'd have like half a chick, or like, you know, like something would be wrong, and then the chick would like start melting and shit. So that's a good one too. That's a good episode.
Yeah, I hope that one's on this season.
Ooh, you're right. It might be on season 2, brother.
Yeah, and then the only other one that I just watched was the Alamo with Daniel. and I guess, you know, the story of the Alamo, everyone dies, and apparently it's going on. So you're thinking it's like, oh shit, it's, you know, it takes place in the Alamo, where in fact it's a bunch of tourists that come in the Alamo and start visiting. But I guess the ghosts or whatever are like, they can see the tourists and are like, what the fuck? Who are those? You know, so it was kind of weird from that standpoint. But it's shit. I got this honestly for under $11 on the main base that I got it for that price.
Yeah, that's a good price. I gotta see if I can pick it up for that much.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so let me see. You know what? Keeping in line with those type of anthology shows, I'll come up with another one that I wrote down here on my list. Like I said, no particular order, but this is one that ran between 1985 and 1992, and the dude was actually a writer, based mostly sci-fi. You can pick these up pretty much on the cheap at Kmart because there's all different ones. But like, you know, Hoarder said, there were a lot of cameos, a lot of famous stars within each episode of this and everything. This one is 26 episodes over 11-hour 2-disc set of the Ray Bradbury Theater. So a lot of like sci-fi stuff, kind of like, you know, horror-esque, you know, sci-fi-esque type of stuff. So you got Drew Barrymore, you got William Shatner, Donald Pleasance, Jeff Goldblum, Peter O'Toole, just bunch of actors that came through and, you know, were in the Ray Bradbury Theater stories and stuff. So there's more than one box of this. I think that's one. I think I have another one somewhere. But yeah, so that's the Ray Bradbury Theater, aired from 85 to 92. So all right.
Okay. All right. Still along with the anthology type, you know, I'm gonna hit up some sci-fi. It's on your list, I know it. It aired on CBS in four different decades: 50s, the 60s, the 80s, and the 2000s. So they keep on wanting to bring it back. Hosted by Rod Serling. That is The Twilight Zone.
Damn.
So one of my all-time favorites, man. I want the Blu-ray set. I've been, you know, waiting for that to drop under $100 for it, and it still seems a little bit in that price range, 150 or so. But yeah, man, black and white. Just still, even though it could be, you know, 60 plus years ago, it's still relatable. It still holds up. But you know, that eerie theme song. They also have a movie which was cool. You know, that the one that sticks out is there was this one where, of course, the plane one, right? William Shatner on the plane, on saying, "Oh, there's this alien creature on the wing," and people didn't believe him. That was replayed by John Lithgow in the movie. There was another one. I can't remember any of the actors, but they like shrunk him into like doll size, so he was trapped in like this little doll place set, and he thought it was like real life. That one was weird, but it was pretty creepy. Like Twilight Zone, for its time, it was pretty mellow to some of the stuff that you see now, but it's still very eerie, very creepy, surreal type shows.
Yep. You
have this?
I don't have the original series. I'm trying to wait for the Blu-ray to come down like you, but that would be my number one. That is my all-time favorite TV series right there. Number one.
And two.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, man, I mean, I think it was Sci-Fi or one of the channels. They would always run that like marathon on like New Year's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And I back before DVD and everything, I would tape that shit on VHS. Like I may still have some VHS in my basement or something, like floating around with some of those episodes, because I would try to tape every single episode. I'd usually be off work that weekend or something. But I mean, I still enjoy the old series, in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And like the 80s, yeah, that was good too. I didn't really watch the one in the 2000s, but I have, like, this is kind of like a boot of a complete collection. This is imported from somewhere. I can't remember where I got this, but would be like the 80s series right here.
Okay.
Yep. So that's a complete collection of 80s series. It's probably like, I don't know, like 10 or 11 DVDs in this motherfucker or something. Wow. Yeah, it's quite a bit. It has a bunch of different, slots. So here's that one. But I do want to get that Blu-ray set of the original, because to me, out of all of them, nothing tops that. So that's and I have a bunch of favorite episodes from the original series, man. So many.
Yeah, if ever there's a box set of anything, I'll pull the trigger on that. Like, I'm not gonna invest anymore. Anything over $50, $60, I'm gonna straight up go for that set. I've been waiting like 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it usually varies between like $250 and on up. It doesn't really go, but one time I seen it like about a year and a half ago, it was like $170, $180, something like that. I was like, fuck, but if anybody has that Blu-ray set and they, I have a few, higher end out of print stuff for trade, man. If you guys, just putting it out there, if you guys have that Blu-ray set, man,
I'll put some here. This ain't no real life Twilight Zone.
Yeah. They're like, no.
Hell no.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's Twilight Zone. So that's Hoarders. You know what? Why don't we keep up with this anthology series? I think. And I know Hoarder has this on his list. This was like one of my favorites. Let's see, what year did it air? I have it. Okay, 88 to 91. Lasted for 3 seasons. 72 episodes on 9 DVDs. I have this complete series set right here, and that is Monsters. You guys can see Monsters. Here's the spine.
That's a Blu-ray?
No, this is DVD. They don't have it on Blu-ray.
Okay.
You don't have this set?
I don't. This
originally priced out around almost $80. I bought it for probably like 50. So about, like when it came down. Right now you can probably get it for maybe 30 something. I'm not quite sure, but it's just like watching that when it came out. Monsters had another one anthology series with a bunch of different cameos on it, a lot of actors and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't really say who. Oh, right here, Jerry Stiller, David Spade, Steve Buscemi, Tempest Bledsoe, Linda Blair, Pam Grier, Frank Gorshin, Meatloaf, Gina Gershon, Lily Taylor, Tony Shalhoub, John Saxon. So many different episodes with so many different cameos on this set, Monsters. If you guys haven't heard it, haven't seen it, pick it up, man. Should be pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, definitely. Good one. All right, I'm bringing fire, man.
Uh-oh.
They're released. I don't even know what it is. Maybe the 8th season or something like that. But that is the X-Files.
Ooh.
So, yeah, this came out late 80s. It's one of those shows, kind of like Twilight Zone, but more heavy on the drama mystery. But yeah, just a fantastic duo between David Duchovny and what was her name? Anderson. Gillian. Uh, but yeah, it's one of those shows that are pretty eerie. I watched. This is actually the movies. I don't have that Blu-ray set. I'm waiting for like Black Friday for that to take a dip. But
you think they're gonna add the new stuff that they're doing to like the old stuff? You know, if they do a new Blu-ray series, I mean a new Blu-ray set.
No, they just released the Blu-ray set.
Okay.
Yeah, they released it before this the new season. So it'll be a while before they do something like that. Probably when the new seasons are all over. But so far, new season's pretty good. I've only watched a couple episodes, but yeah, there's just that feel that you know, I would channel 13. I would stay up and watch the show. Kind of creepy at the time when I first watched it.
I wasn't really a big fan. You know, like I think, you know, what years did that air from? In the 90s, right? It had to be
late 80s to 90s.
Okay. Cause I caught it, like it was one of those things where I caught later, like towards the end of the run, the whole different whatever seasons, and it was just like I watched a few episodes, you know, and I liked it. It's just the fact that I didn't get to watch it when it first aired.
93, you're right. 93.
Okay. Yeah, I told you the story about what I was doing then, so you know.
207 episodes, so pretty long lasting.
Yep. All right. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually have a series here, keeping with the anthology stuff, that paved the way for the X-Files.
Okay.
This is a 1974 to 1975 series. So, and that is Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
What? Never heard yet.
Yo, dude, it didn't have a long run, but I mean, look it up, man. It has people in it like guest stars like Scatman Crothers, Antonio Fargas, who we knew from as Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, also other movies. Dick Van Patten, Jamie Farr, Larry Linville, Jim Backus. I mean, Kolchak the Night Stalker. This is the complete set right here. 20 original 1-hour episodes. He was basically a detective who had to go like investigate paranormal stuff, and he sometimes became involved with like there was a vampire in one episode. Oh, you got it? What is that? Oh, okay. A vampire in one episode, a werewolf. There's, you know, different ones. Chicago, you know, PI, whatever. So check it out, Hoarder. Kolchak the Night Stalker, man. He also did 2 TV movies that go with this.
Yeah.
I think The Night Strangler or something. And you know, so that was one I saw in syndication after it originally aired, because I was too young to watch that when it first came out. You know, I would have been way too young to understand what was going on. But yeah, Kolchak the Night Stalker, which, like I said, predates the X-Files and actually kind of was the precursor to all that, man. So that's it, man.
All right, the show that my siblings got me into because they had crushes on a lot of the people that star in it. Pretty much like some undercover detectives that would go to like high schools.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy, Jack Sparrow, that's where he got famous. And that is 21 Jump Street. Yeah, not that fucking Channing Tatum shit. This is
No.
21 Jump Street that started from 1987 to 1991. So 5 seasons, 101 episodes. Yeah, you're into the show. But it was kind of that, you know, especially if you were in high school, dealing with drugs, crime, sex, that kind of stuff. But pretty mellow. It has Holly Robinson. She was good to look at too. And then my boy Dustin Wynn.
Dustin Gwynn, the Asian cat, yo. Yep.
Vietnamese famous dude back in the day. And then Dom DeLuise's son.
Peter DeLuise. Yep.
Richard Grieco was in this too. Richard Grieco.
Yeah, but not throughout the whole thing, right? He was just for
a couple. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that was my high school years right there, 87 through 90. Well, 87 through 92. I graduated in 91, but definitely I was in high school when that came out, man. Loved it. 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, boy.
Yo, did you know that Holly Robinson sang the theme song for that?
I do now.
She's the one who sang the theme song for that show.
Heisman Trophy winner Rodney Peete.
Yep.
Football player. Detroit Lions.
Yep. Holly Robinson Peete. Yeah, definitely easy on the eyes back then too, man. So, yep. All right, moving along, man. Here's another one. Not sure if Hoarder has this on his list. He probably does, because he's like one of the best researchers I know and shit. But this is another boot I got right here. If you guys are familiar with a site called ioffer.com, it's basically it's DVD rips that wherever they get the source material from. But I wish this fucking show would come out on DVD, man. Like I can see Shout Factory putting it out. I think I even wrote to them about, because there's 2 other series that just came out on Shout that I'm gonna mention. That I'm wondering why this one didn't. And this is it came out in 1984. Only lasted for like 1 season, and it features one of the movie that I guess spawned it, like TV movie, was Demi Moore's I want to say it's her first acting role. I'm not quite sure, but that is the show The Master with Lee Van Cleef. So, and I actually printed out my own artwork on it, but you can see inside. Oh, you can see inside they have the DVD number 1, and then DVD number 2. The Master. So this ioffer.com place, they do a pretty good job with they put artwork on the DVDs and everything. But I did my own episode list for it and all that. Timothy Van Patten, he's in it, who you guys know from other movies and such. So he was the understudy of Lee Van Cleef, who was a ninja. Like ninja movies and ninja shows, they were just really popular in the 80s, man. And for a good bit. You guys remember movies like Enter the Ninja, Ninja 3: The Domination. Well, The Master was, basically the TV version of the ninja craze that was going on in the 80s. So, one of my favorites.
All right. My next pick, I don't have any of the seasons on DVD or Blu-ray. Hopefully, they do come out with some type of box set. I do have the remake of the movie, which wasn't that great. That is the A-Team. So, A-Team, dude, that made me get into like freaking like Mr. T and all that action stuff, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that was about the time, where I started asking for like action figures and toys. But just a fun show. You had it ran from 83 to 87. Surprised only 5 seasons, but you had Face. Remember Face? You could like have all the guys and stuff, and then you had Murdoch. He was like the pilot, and then B.A. Baraka, Mr. he was the muscle, man. He was the muscle.
Yeah, he was afraid to fly. They always had to like knock him out and shit.
Yeah, what was the colonel's name?
Fuck. Oh man, it was played by George Peppard. I remember the actor. I'm trying to remember his actual name in it. Damn, I can't remember his character's name. That's fucking
Hannibal.
Crazy. Hannibal. George Peppard, man. That's who played him.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. They pretty much fought all the drug lords and that type of stuff. It was a very entertaining show, man.
Definitely, man. That's when my brother, he was like really, he loved that. He loved that show, man. He was like, he's probably a little, like maybe a couple years older than you, but yeah, he loved that shit, man.
Yeah, Tony says everyone had that Hot Wheels 18-man.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. All right, so I spoke about this a little bit earlier, and that was a series. I think it only had like 8 or 9 episodes. Like I said, I have a ioffer.com boot. You can call it a boot because it's however they get the source material. But they just came out with this series on Shout Factory, and for something that only ran for 8 or 9, episodes. That's why I was kind of like, well, damn, why don't they put out The Master, which had more episodes and shit, and also has Demi Moore in it in one of the, I guess, the TV pilot or movie or whatever. But that is Manimal. Dude, Simon McCorkland or whatever his name was, basically he turned into an animal to fight crime and stuff like that. He had a female sidekick, and I think there was an African American cop or something like that. But yeah, Manimal, that was a cool fucking series, man. It didn't run long at all, just one season, 1983. Wish it would have went longer, and I don't like reboots or anything like that, but that's something I can see them maybe redoing, man, on TV if they ever think about it. So that's it. You got that on your list, Hoarder?
As a reserve. That was before my time.
Okay.
All right, the next show, it's kind of a reality show, but they reenact a lot of stuff. But I just remember watching a lot of episodes. Started in 1987 and it didn't end until 2010. So you're talking like fucking 604 episodes. And that is the host himself, Robert Stack, Unsolved Mystery.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So that show was just like, ooh, what's on Unsolved Mysteries tonight? So they would have some famous actors do the reenactment. Some of them that I've seen, Dennis Farina, Virginia Madsen, Rosie Perez.
Yep.
So yeah, it was something that I could watch. I mean, for nostalgia purposes, but it was just like, oh shit, this mystery's still unsolved. It would tackle some of the famous ones, some of the famous unsolved crimes, but just some stuff you never heard of too.
Yep.
What you know about that?
I used to watch that like on and off, man, throughout the years. Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
You always knew like voice of the guy who was introducing it. When he came on, you're like, oh, it's Unsolved Mysteries. That shit's coming on right now.
So the original host was Raymond Burr for one episode.
Mm-hmm. One episode, man. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh shit. All right,
yeah,
so moving along, man. Hoarder might have this on his list, but it's before his time. Like he said, 1983. I don't even know if Hoarder was born in 1983, man. Like shit. But But that's another one that only lasted one season, and you know I don't understand why. I had the dude from Taxi as one of the main characters. The Kingdom of Camarand, directed by Bill Bixby and produced by Don Rio, and that is Wizards and Warriors.
Damn.
Yeah, man. This one, you know, like, you know, it is what it says. It's Wizards and Warriors. It's like that mythical type of stuff back then. And I just remember loving it as a kid. Like I would like look forward to going and watching that. It came on at night, you know, on syndication. Can't remember what night. I want to say like towards the weekend. But yeah, it was short-lived. But it was good for what it was, man. So if you guys haven't heard of Wizards and Warriors, look it up. It's probably gonna seem a bit more cheesy now with all the other types of sword and sorcery type of stuff that's come out since, even on TV. But for its time, yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's another one of mine right there.
All right, next up is a show that I don't have any physical media of, but sometimes it plays in syndication. 85 through 92, starring Richard Dean Anderson and MacGyver, 139 episodes. So MacGyver, man, all I remember, my dad loved that show, but the reason why I like MacGyver, because this motherfucker, you could make like a bomb out of gum and a paper clip. This bitch was like, I'm telling you, man, that guy had like duct tape in his back pocket and could make like a raft out of duct tape. It's amazing what MacGyver get out of situations. So, and I was a little hesitant to watch, but there's that Saturday Night Live skit. There's a movie called MacGruber. That's fucking hella funny. Like a spoof of MacGyver.
Is that with one of the Wilson brothers?
Wilson? No. It might, but it stars one of the SNL. I think Will Forte is the SNL character.
Okay, because I could have swore there was a movie called MacGruber, and I thought it was.
It might have it as the bad guy, but Kirsten Wig's in it as the love interest.
Oh shit! Definitely remember MacGyver, man. Soldier, scientist, hero. That was his title and shit. Yeah, that was fun, man. I remember like when I was a kid, we would do stupid shit like fucking, you know, go spray paint trains or go fucking hop roofs and shit. And one time like this dude pulled a fucking gun on us, and my boy was like, "Yeah, well, let's fucking get out of this. Let's do some MacGyver shit. Let's switch our clothes." So all we did, we switched shirts and we switched jackets. Like we weren't gonna get found by the police, you know, because the guy, all he had to do was like, "This fucking kids are jumping on my roof over here and everything." So fucking the dude actually pulled a gun on us and shit, and we fucking just took off. And my boy's like, we're jumping on these other roofs. He's like, "MacGyver shit." I'm like, "Yeah, MacGyver shit. We're gonna get fucking shot, dude." But yeah, so anyway, MacGyver, man. Yep, fun. All right, moving along. I do not have this on any physical media. I'm sure Hoarder remembers it. It's still a little bit before his time, but I'm sure his older siblings were probably watching it. And that is Street Hawk from 1985, man. This was about a dude who rode a motorcycle, like a souped-up motorcycle created by a scientist, and he would just go and basically fight crime and shit like that. I mean, but this motorcycle was the shit, man. I can remember riding my bike, my regular bike, and like trying to jump off curbs and shit, trying to act like I was Street Hawk back in the day. So yeah, Street Hawk, man. I believe it does have a DVD set. It ran only one season, but I think there's a DVD set out for it. So
yeah, I never Street Hawk.
I'm surprised, man. Like your older siblings weren't into that, man.
But I have heard of my next pick, Knight Rider. So
Nice.
Knight Rider the man himself, the Hoff, David Hasselhoff, and Kit Cursor, his little his black Corvette, that would talk to him. And didn't he have like a butler type dude that he would speak to?
There was some dude that like helped him out, Michael Knight.
Yeah.
It was some like they had. Remember, they would come out of the back of the truck sometimes, or drive into the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Same premise with Street Hawk. It was the same thing. The dude would like come with a fucking truck, and Street Hawk would jump onto the back of the truck to hide and shit like that. But yeah, fucking Knight Rider, man, that was a good one. I got that on my list.
82 through 86.
Yep.
It had only 86 episodes. So, but yeah, it's just something that you know, they still have Cursor in museums and stuff. It's very nostalgic.
Mm-hmm. Knight Rider, man, that was the shit. They tried to redo that show, I think, in the early or mid 2000s, right? Am I wrong?
Uh-huh.
I believe so. I believe they tried to redo it. It didn't. I don't think it took. If it did take, it wasn't on that long or something like that. But it was like a Knight Rider 2000 or some shit like that. But yeah.
2008, 2009, yeah, they tried to redo it without Hasselhoff. Only 18 episodes.
Yeah, so very short-lived. Definitely more short-lived than the original. So, but yeah, Michael Knight, Knight Rider, that shit was awesome, man. Kit, the talking car, great shit, man. All right, so moving along. Let me see. I'm gonna keep within this, like, you know, vehicular type of stuff, man. And this is another one that Shout Factory just put out with Manimal at the same time. Only lasted one season, from 1983, also from 1983, and that is Automan. So if you guys haven't heard of Automan, check it out, man. It has Desi Arnaz Jr. in it as like the scientist type of dude, and then Automan was like this thing guy made out of light, and there was like a
You froze. Okay. Hello? Yeah, you're freezing. All right, John's frozen. So, what do you say? Automan? I don't remember that at all. I have to look that up. But my next pick, I have to go with Simon and Simon. So, Simon and Simon, shoot, this ran from 1981 to 1995, 15 years. And so it starred Gerald McRaney, Jameson Parker, but Tim Reed. You know Tim Reed. They were brothers in a private detective type private detective industry, and they ran their own business, and so they hired them. But you know, usually one brother would always, you know, get in trouble where the other brother had to help out. Does anyone in the chat remember Simon and Simon?
yo.
Yeah, yo.
I had to move it over to my phone, man. Computer's acting up again.
All right, I just said another one, Simon and Simon.
Okay. What year did that come out?
81 to 95.
81 to 95. Okay. Damn. That went pretty long.
Yeah, it freaking was 156 episodes. So that.
I do remember watching that. It wasn't one that I would, you know, like rush to watch, but like it was definitely, if it was on, I caught it and everything. If there was nothing else to watch, but not one I'd watch like, you know, like I was very fond of or anything. All right, so another one coming in at whatever number, because we're not really doing numbers tonight, but it's one that I don't even think has a complete set on DVD. I know there's VHS tapes of it out there, and that is from 1988 to 1990, Freddy's Nightmares.
Damn.
I know Hoarder definitely remembers that.
Yep.
Another, like, basically an anthology series based off stuff that happened in the Springfield, the town, centered around the whole Freddy mythology, Freddy Krueger, just different things that would happen. I think there was a few, he'd always host the episode, kind of like, somebody else in another HBO series would open up the episode and everything. And I think there was a few episodes where he was actually in. I wish this would come out on like either a full DVD set or Blu-ray. I know the Blu-ray set of Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray set has like 2 or 3 episodes of Freddy's Nightmares, but we need a complete set of Freddy's Nightmares, man. So, all right.
Next up, just along the same lines, a lot of action. Private investigator, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, ran from 1980 through 88. I mean, at the time I watched it, I had nothing to do with Hawaii, but now that I'm in Hawaii, I had to mention it. It's he had Tom Selleck. He played Magnum, and he had this freaking mansion with who was it? Higgins,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. His yeah. And then he had his friend, his partner TC.
Yep.
And Orville Wright. So
that cool ass car, right?
Yep. Cool ass car.
Mm-hmm. All right. So was that like? So did you watch it and when it first came out?
No way. In 81? Hell no.
Oh, well, okay.
Ran through 88, so I was catching a lot of reruns and stuff.
Okay. All right. Next up for me is another one that, to my knowledge, does not have a DVD or Blu-ray. Pretty sure it probably has some VHS. It ran for 1 season, and it's a show called Misfits of Science. If you guys are familiar with it, it actually had a young Courtney Cox on it, who these were like young people who just came up. They came with superpowers, kind of like a superpower type of show. Again, like fighting evil, fighting crime type of stuff. Your typical 80s type of stuff. There was a guy who could freeze stuff. He turned frozen. He was like an ice cream man. Another dude, he was like a rock star. He could like run fast and I think shoot bolts of electricity or some shit. But yeah, it was a decent show, man, and it just only lasted 1 season though. So Misfits of Science. Look it up if you guys aren't familiar. So
okay. Guess I need to look it up. What I remember, this let's see. This show, you that little robot Tweety always gets me. You had Erin Gray. You guys remember Erin Gray? If you don't remember Erin Gray, she's the mom in Ginger Snaps, and she also starred in Silver Spoons as a mom. But she starred in it, Gil Gerard as Captain William Buck Rogers.
Nice.
Yeah, Buck Rogers was, you know, Star Trek was going on, and then you had Buck Rogers, which ran from 79 to 81. So, of course, I caught this on syndication because I was, like, not even born for most of that. But, yeah, just a sci-fi, pretty cool. Had a little bit of everything in it. But, yeah, the thing I remember the most is that little fucking wannabe R2-D2 C-3PO.
Twiggy.
Twiggy. Oh, I said Tweety, but he
Twiggy.
says, what's Twiggy's fucking saying?
Oh, I think it was like bitty 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 bitty, some shit like that.
All right, but
Yep.
you know, just the intro was like, you know,
For the first time, including the century, a complete epic
oh, so
series
they do have
DVD.
they have the complete series pretty cheap on eBay.
Nice.
Sweet.
You gonna get it?
No, I mean, eventually if I could get it for cheap, but that's like something that, you know, if I start collecting all the TV shows we list, that would be retarded.
Yeah, you probably don't even have enough room for fucking half that shit, man. So, all right. So let me see. Another one that not many people have heard of, and you can't get it on DVD. It doesn't have a DVD. If you go maybe on this thing I was telling you guys about ioffer.com, like they do a lot of, you know, like kind of like boots or rips or what, but it's quality. It's real quality. There's another series that I wish would come out, man. I could see Shout doing it or Scream, but most likely Shout. It came out. Ah, shit. I'm trying to remember the station that it came out on. It wasn't USA, but it was like a channel kind of like that. And it's a show that ran from 1987 to 88 called Werewolf. Basically a dude got bit by his roommate, who was a werewolf, ends up killing his roommate, and because of the ensuing battle, and then he's tracked down by a bounty hunter for the rest of the series, who I think was played by Chuck Connors, if I'm not mistaken, the Rifleman. But if you guys haven't seen Werewolf, like it was a short run, 1987 to 88. Look it up, man. It was good, man. And the werewolf, the way they did the transformation and how the werewolf looked was pretty fucking cool. So, yep.
All right, my next show, Superhero, 1978 to 82, starring Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno. That's the Incredible Hulk.
Ah,
Yeah,
man.
I just remember freaking, it was before my time, but it was just when that would come on, it would just, when he would turn into the actual turning of, it was a little cheesy, but back then it was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Fucking like, either he gets hurt or people start beating on him or he gets real pissed, like mad. You could tell in his fucking like feet. Yeah, his feet fucking. Is that the complete?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, wow.
This is the complete first season. I have the complete first season. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I have season 2, complete season 2.
Nice.
Yep. Actually, when I went to the last comic convention, I had Lou Ferrigno sign this one. I don't know how well you can see that in the corner. You see that?
Yep.
Yep. So Lou Ferrigno signed it for me. Of course, they charged to sign, but whatever. I was a fan of the show. My little brother loved it too. He's like about 5 years younger than me. So it was one that we both enjoyed. I think there's like, I want to say there's like 4 seasons of this, 4 or 5. I have season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, 5.
Yep. I need to get the rest. But yeah, man, awesome. All right, so let's keep in with the superhero vein of what we're doing here. This was a I guess you can call him a superhero. He was kind of like a a dummy superhero. You know what I mean? Because he would he flied kind of like awkward and all fucked up and everything. But I know Hoarder has this on his. I don't know if he watched it, but that is the greatest American hero from 1981 to 83 with William Catt, who starred in the first House film. He basically received this suit with instructions from aliens. Yeah, man. You got that shit. Yep.
Yeah, yo.
So Hoarder, have you watched any of it, or do you know about it quite a bit, or what?
I mean, not recently, but yeah, I saw it on TV. It was one. I just got this for like $10, so I couldn't pass it up.
Nice.
But it's yeah, well, 43 episodes. But it was like comical. Wasn't he a little bit silly? Like he would have a hard time flying and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he what happened was he lost the instructions that the aliens left him, and he didn't know he had to figure out how the suit worked and everything.
Okay.
He would fly all fucked up and like land fucked up, and it was just funny, man. But yeah, so the greatest American hero, man, from 1981 to 83. All right. What you got?
I have a show that only lasted 13 episodes, but I thought it was just a miniseries, but there was a TV movie. But, dude, I loved this show when it was on, and that's called The Vanishing Son. So this was in 1995, 94, 95. But it was pretty much about like the Chinese gang, the triads. And so Russell Wong starred in it, and then he had his the other character, which always got into trouble, was Wago Chang. But yeah, man, I can't really say too much about it, but it was just one of those things that stuck with me, and I always thought, dude, they need to release this or make a movie or renew the series, because I know I talked to Leroy about it. He knows what I'm talking about.
I've never heard of it, man. Like that, it sounds like fucking cool though.
It is cool, man. It was all about it was like Hard Boiled put on TV, pretty much.
Oh,
yeah, it was fucking. They had like guns and shit. It was
there's no release anywhere of it.
I have to look at if there's like something on eBay. But
okay.
Has anyone in the chat heard of Vanishing Son? Watched it?
That sounds like something I'd fucking be into. Definitely.
Oh, 13 episodes. Yes, there's a complete. Wow, about 40 bucks though.
Yeah.
But there is a DVD set of it.
Nice. All right. Next up was, let me see. Oh, okay. 1987. Only I don't know if there's any DVD release. Oh, there probably is. It was a Vietnam War era show. Only ran for one season. And if you guys are into like history type of war shows and everything, the name of this show was Tour of Duty. And I believe it ran on CBS back in the day. It was like on at night and everything. I just, it was just one that I enjoyed. Like I said, it didn't run long, but Tour of Duty from 1987. If you guys are unfamiliar, look it up. Like I said, anything that we're mentioning you guys aren't familiar with, I'm sure people in the chat or people that end up watching this who aren't familiar, look it up. You guys will probably end up liking it. So, the Tour of Duty from 1987. You heard of it?
Nope.
Damn, look it up, Hoarder.
Yep.
Good show, man.
Another good show, 1986 to 88. This is more of a kind of dramatic coming of age, a family show. taught you a lot of lessons. Starring Wilford Brimley, he played the grandfather, and I guess his son died, and so he took in his daughter-in-law, who was played by Deidre Hall, and then 3 kids, his 3 grandkids, and that was the show called Our House.
Mm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Our House.
Oh.
So the kids were Shannon Doherty, Chad Allen. It was a very, very, very fine house. But yeah, I just, this show just popped in my head as something that was like, if you weren't watching sitcoms, this was kind of more on the serious side. It had its moments, but it was just kind of those shows that teach, a lot of morals. It taught you, that family bond, nothing's thicker than family blood.
Right. All right. Coming up is a late 80s show for me, which I don't have any format. So after this, after me and Hoarder do this show, there's probably a bunch on here. I'm gonna go investigate and see if they have any releases on DVD or Blu-ray. Most likely DVD though. And that's with you familiar with the actor Jerry O'Connell?
Hell yeah.
From Stand By Me?
Yep.
Okay, so Jerry O'Connell in 1988 starred in a show called My Secret Identity.
Yep.
It started out on cable, Canadian cable TV, but then it became syndicated in the US, I think around the same time on whatever channel. I do remember watching it. I don't know if it was exactly in 88 or it might have been a few years after that. But My Secret Identity with Jerry O'Connell is basically a kid, about a 15-year-old kid who comes up with he ends up getting superpowers and everything. And he flies around with fucking spray cans, aerosol cans and shit like that. And he's trying to figure out his powers and all this shit. He can run fast and he's got super strength. But if you guys haven't heard of My Secret Identity, it had a cool theme song at the beginning too. Look it up, with Jerry O'Connell from 1988. So.
All right, something more recent, 1998 to 2000. Just along the same lines as Vanishing Sun with martial arts. That is Martial Law, starring Sammo Hung, Kelly Hu, Arsenio Hall. So 44 episodes. It was just kind of a refreshing. Sammo Hung was a big kung fu star prior to this, so I was glad he finally, got more notoriety in an American TV show. But I tell you what, the reason why I came back to that show was Kelly Hu. Kelly was gorgeous. She's still bomb, man. She's fucking amazing.
Yes. Nice. Yeah, she's wasn't she in our in our show we mentioned a couple weeks ago?
I think Crush picked her. Yeah.
Good pick, man. Yeah, I like that show too, man. Definitely. It was one that, sure it's on DVD. Probably can track it down. All right. Next up is a series. I think I would say this is my second favorite anthology series next to Twilight Zone. It ran, I know Hoarder knows this, he's got to know this. It ran from 1983 to 1988, boy. And it is baby.
The
Tales from the Dark Side. You guys can see that?
Yeah, yo.
All right. Tales from the Dark Side have first season, second season, third season, final season, 4 seasons. Like I said, ran from 83 to 88. A lot of anthologies, the anthology series, a lot of episodes, a lot of different actors in different episodes. My second favorite, anthology series, and next to Twilight Zone. So, you got this set, Hoarder, or what?
Nope.
Damn, you need to get it, man.
Okay.
Only on DVD though. No Blu-ray set for this.
Yeah. So along the same lines, Brian mentioned it. Tales from the Crypt is similar. It ran on HBO, so you know, there was some nudity and stuff in it. But that's not my pick. I just wanted to bring that up because Brian mentioned it. Didn't want to ignore him. My next one, I want to bring some old school in here, and you know, a lot. It may be a lot of hating and stuff, but shoot, I enjoyed watching it. That was Little House on the Prairie. You know, it had Michael Landon. What's her face? What's that fucking freckled little Melissa Gilbert?
Yep.
Yeah, but and then they had the spinoff, right? Father Murphy.
Yeah, Father Murphy.
Yeah, he was the priest of the town. But what I remember is always, you know, the kids always, you know, getting into trouble. But that little bitch kid that lived in that had that aunt for this or mother that ran that candy store, the little
Nelly.
store. Nelly, that freaking like, oh, I couldn't stand her.
Mm-hmm.
She would always be like a troublemaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a show that I could watch with my sisters and stuff, and you know, it was pretty much one of those not too violent, you know, one of those wholesome shows that the parents would approve of.
Definitely, yeah. It was like one of those things. Like not one that I was like, oh, watch this, I love it. Like it was like one of those things. Like I saw episodes here and there, and you know, wasn't my cup of tea. Wasn't my thing. You know, I was more into like, I don't know, like more hardcore shit, I guess. But like, I don't know, you know, it had its moments. You know, like there's times where you want to put aside all that. You know, you want to stop being that thug life. You want to be, you want to be like a little.
You want to have that prairie life. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you want to be instead of being a little badass kid all the time, you want to be the wholesome kid. You know, so you watch a wholesome show like that or something. But yeah, man, definitely. All right, so I'm gonna go more new school. This is probably my most newest school show on the list. I do not have it in any format. You know, I wish I did. Not even sure if it has the DVD series out right now. I am going to investigate all these afterwards. But if you guys in the chat know, put that in the chat, man. I can't see the chat right now, but Hoarder can, so he can let me know. And that is a series. I believe it came on Sci-Fi. I want to say 1988 to 99, so it just falls under the cusp. Brimstone. So it didn't run that long, but it was basically about a policeman, a cop whose wife gets raped, and he kills the rapist. And shortly after he gets killed, they both end up going to hell. A bunch of demons, souls escape from hell, and the devil sends him back to like retrieve these lost souls, these demons, and bring them back. If he does that, it's like I think it's like 113, 114 souls. If he does that, he's able to, you know, go back on Earth and live again. And it was an awesome show. I don't know why it didn't run longer, but yeah, Brimstone from 1988 to 99. Look it up.
Yeah. 1989 and 1996. This is more of a documentary kind of reenactment. That is Rescue 911 with your host, William Shatner. So just all these, you know, they would take the real calls of 911 and then reenact. You know, most of the time the people lived, and then they would reenact it, and then at the end, like where they are now, either they're still fucked up in the hospital or everything's normal. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of episodes that, you know, like car accidents or kids like drowning, choking, shit like that. But it was just something that was always on the fucking tube.
All right. Damn. So you mentioning William Shatner, you know, popped something in my brain. Huh?
Yep. William Shatner, the man.
What happened? You mentioned him pop something in my brain, and that was a show with him. I don't quite know the years. I remember 80s, called TJ Hooker.
Oh hell yeah. TJ fucking Hooker.
TJ Hooker. I know you probably had to have watched that, man. I was a fan of that show. TJ Hooker, he was a cop, huh?
Heather Locklear.
Yep, Heather Locklear was in it. William Shatner, he was like the main guy in it. TJ Hooker. Awesome show, man. So there we go.
Okay, along the same lines, how about Fall Guy? Fall Guy with
Yeah.
I would say a woman that one ups her at the time, and that was Heather Thomas, dude. Whoo, shit. But Fall Guy that had Lee Majors, right?
Yep.
Lee Majors, 112 episodes, ran from 81 to 86. But Heather Thomas, gorgeous. Also had Marky Post.
Marky Post, yep.
Yeah. So it was just, you know, life of a bounty hunter.
The unknown stuntman, yep.
Yep.
That truck that he had, remember that truck he had in it? Like everybody wanted that fucking truck, man.
Yep. Jumping and shit.
Yep. He's I remember, I think one of the lines was in the song, "'Cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine." Some shit like that. Like that was like one of the lines in the songs. So the Fall Guy, man, that was a good fucking show.
Yeah, yo.
All right. Coming up next is a show that aired. It was a movie. I believe the movie came first and then the show, but they had nothing to do with each other. And it starred Ernie Reyes Jr. from 1986. Yeah, yo, to 87. Sidekicks. Love that fucking show, man. When Ernie Reyes Jr. like he used to fuck some people up, man. Like, I remember seeing him. Yep, The Last Dragon. Like that's where I first saw Ernie Reyes Jr. in 85, and then 86 to 87. That's when he had his own little show, Sidekicks. Man, that was a cool fucking show. So,
Pinoy Pride.
You ever watch it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pinoy Pride.
Asian Pride all the way, baby.
All right, so going back to like the crime, fighting and shit, I have to go with my pick from 1985 to 91, and that is Miami Vice. Johnson. Yeah, Don Johnson, and then you had fucking who's that black dude? Philip Michael Thomas.
Yep.
But yeah, man, they were pretty much in their suits, fucking fighting crime, undercover detective in the streets of Miami. Welcome to Miami, bienvenido a Miami.
No, man, that show.
Yeah,
man.
Jan Hammer doing the fucking, the music.
Yep. Damn, man, that show was the shit, man. Crockett and Tubbs, man. You had that whole Don Johnson with that look, and then in the 80s, everybody was trying to emulate that look of Don Johnson with the fucking suit with the little T-shirt underneath and all that, like, oh man. Yeah, Miami Vice 83, man. So yeah, it was a good 5-year run with that one. All right, coming up next, let's see, is a show that came out from 1978 to 84. It does have a DVD release. I believe it might be one complete box set of it. I don't know if it's split up, but I know it is out. It's something I watched with my grandmother, throughout its whole run, basically. And that is the plane, boss, the plane. Fantasy Island. Welcome to Fantasy Island. So
The original Dos Equis.
Mr. Rock. Yeah. Mr. Rock tattoo. You know, like had, you know, people would come to the island, they would, you know, it'd be some kind of had its like kind of supernatural like elements to it, you know what I mean? Because it was always like the fantasy, the whole fantasy type of thing. And it'd be like the guest stars would come on, they'd be trying to hook up and, you know, different things would happen. But Fantasy Island, man, you know, 78 to 84, that's just a classic right there. Next.
Ricardo Montalban. Okay,
Yep.
a show that ran from 1977 to 87. Kind of a comedy drama. That is The Love Boats. Dun, 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 dun.
Soon we'll be making love. Yeah.
Romantic comic tales of passengers and the crew of the Pacific Princess. So you had Captain Stubing, and you had the doctor. You remember him?
Yep.
You had Gopher. Remember Gopher?
Yep.
And you had dude, the fucking I couldn't stand that girl. I don't know what was her name. Nancy.
The young girl?
Julie McCoy. Couldn't stand her.
Yes.
Then
That
you
was
had-
the captain's daughter, wasn't it?
No, that was Vicky.
I think she was the captain's daughter.
Vicky was the captain's daughter.
Okay, Vicky. Okay, my bad.
Then you had Gopher. Then you had Isaac. Remember Isaac?
Yep, remember Isaac?
Then Ted McGinley. He was the the ship's photographer.
Yeah.
But you know, they'd always have a lot of guest appearances. They had Terry Hatcher was in it for a while.
Yep, she was the mermaid.
Yep. Florence Henderson was in it. Charo, remember Charo?
Yeah, man.
Wookie. Yeah, that was funny.
Coochie.
But yeah, The Love Boats.
That's another one I ended up watching with my grandmother because that was around the same time as Fantasy Island. So we would watch that and we'd watch Fantasy Island and shit. Cool,
Yeah.
man. All right. Coming up next is I'm gonna go with another anthology series. I'd rank this probably third. You know, like I said, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, along the same lines. Yeah.
Yep.
So the same lines, but it kept with the same theme throughout. It wasn't like different actors had the same actors and everything. And that is
The
Friday the 13th, the series.
Oh,
You guys see that?
Yeah, yo.
All right. So there's first season, second season, and the final season. So ran for like 3 seasons. Had the redheaded chick. She was easy on the eyes back then. The uncle basically had a pawn shop. You know, he had a pawn shop, and he sold his soul to the devil, and the items became cursed, and then people were buying these items, and it was up to you know, the cousins, the female and the male, to get the items back. And they had various adventures, a lot of supernatural stuff. They even traveled in time. Towards the end of the run of the seasons, they switched up the dude. Like, it wasn't her cousin anymore. It was like some other guy who became the chick's love interest. But definitely an awesome series, man. I looked forward to watching it. I remember it would come on the weekends. Like, I think it might have even came on Friday or Saturday. It was something I, you know, would definitely like want to watch. I made it an effort to go watch this. So Friday the 13th, the series for me.
Going back to another police show, 1977 to 83. You know, it's pretty fun. A little bit cheesy now. Starring Erica Estrada. That is Chip. So yeah, you remember that, dude. That's your time, dude. Chips.
Yeah.
With Erica Estrada, Larry Wilcox. It's pretty much highway patrolmen that rode their motorcycles and all these, you know, stopping crime.
Yep. Dude, I was a fan, but my little brother, that was one he would rush to watch. He loved Chips for what I don't know why he fucking loved it. Because he's 5 years younger than me, so he was like a lot younger. He loved that fucking show, man. So yeah, he would. There was something on around the same time that I'd want to watch, and like, you know, we kind of like would battle a little bit for the TV. And like if my mother saw us like arguing, she'd be like, "Oh, let him watch it," you know, like type of thing. So, you know, because he was younger, so let the younger kid watch what he wants to watch and shit. So yeah, he'd watch Chips, and I'd be stuck fucking like, I can't watch. Huh?
And you'd be stuck saying, "I don't want that."
I don't want that. Yeah, man. All right, so Porter went with Chips. I'm gonna go with a show that I don't think anybody here is familiar with. Porter might be. It only ran for one season, but it's mid-'80s. And it's called Black's Magic. 13 episodes, one season. It starred the dude Hal Linden, who played Barney Miller, and it had his, you know, there was a guy who played his father in it. So Black's Magic from 1986, 13 episodes. You guys go check it out. It was a cool show, man. I enjoyed it. So Black's Magic.
Okay.
What you got?
No, none about that.
Okay.
1994-95. So high school. Only lasted one season, but it got a lot of pushback because it was canceled way too early. Had starred Claire Danes. It was on MTV, called My So-Called Life, about a 15-year-old, her trials and tribulations of a teenager, dealing with, you know, peer pressure, guys, parents, kind of rebellious. But it brought in topics of, you know, gay people. She had this one Hispanic gay friend. And then like a rowdy girl, AJ Langer, she was a hottie. But that's where you saw Jared Leto pop up. Yeah. Oh, Brian
I didn't know that, man.
Brian has the DVD set. But it's only 19 episodes, but the reason why they didn't renew it is because Claire Danes started her, you know, she did such a good performance on that she was getting roles on films. And then you see her now, been in all the Bourne movies, and then Homeland is that show she's rocking right now.
Yep. Yeah, I never watched that, man.
Yeah,
I never watched that.
I wrote a high school paper on that show.
Cool.
I got an A. I got an A.
Nice.
Bring the heat.
All right. My next one is, you know, I'm 43 years old, so like this is why a lot of you guys are like that are in the chat or watch this sometimes are like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
The girl I was talking about that was pretty hot was that was the girl in People Under the Stairs.
Oh, okay. The girl, the main girl in it, right?
Yeah, yo.
What's the actress's name, yo?
AJ Langer.
Okay. So she was older in this TV series, obviously, right?
94.
Huh?
Yeah.
94.
Yep.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, because People Under Stairs came out in 91. Yep, 91. Yep. All right, so my next one is one that people might not be familiar with. I believe it does have a DVD set. And it's a show that aired from 1987 to 91. So a lot of you guys, maybe in the chat, a lot of you younger cats were probably real young at that time. But it's called Tales of the Gold Monkey.
Okay.
And it's a show. Yeah, it's a show based kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like Indiana Jones-esque type of movie, because it takes place like in the 30s and they have a plane and there's this, they got to explore and find treasure. So Tales of the Gold Monkey from 1987 to 1991. So it does go into the 90s. So, check it out. Tales of the Gold Monkey. That was another one I liked watching when I was a kid. Well, a teenager at that time. So, yep.
All right, this is I got stuck. I got stuck watching because of my sisters, but all in all, it was an enjoyable show. Many famous actors now. 292 episodes. Ran for 11 years. Beverly Hills 90210. Luke Perry, Jason Priestley, Jenny Garth, Shannon Doherty, Eon Ziering, Tori Spelling. Her dad did was the creator. Aaron Spelling.
Yeah, Aaron Spelling. Yep.
So, just, it was just something that I was forced to watch, and then just got caught on, kind of like a high school teenage soap opera, pretty much.
Yeah. I've heard of it. That's one that I kind of like. I would not watch. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. Like, I don't know. I couldn't relate, and I was just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. If you brought up a certain way and then you watch certain things, you're like, I didn't aspire to be like them or anything, I guess, if that makes sense. But it's just something I didn't get into, basically. Like, not my thing. So, but I definitely heard of it, and it, like you said, man, Tori Spelling, and it spawned like basically their careers and everything. So, yeah. Next up for me, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this too, because I don't think anybody has fucking heard of this show. It's like, I definitely know Hoarder hasn't, and I know I don't think anybody in the Blu-ray community has, but it goes way, way back, from 1977 to 1980. You're gonna have to look it up. You're gonna be fucking tripped out, Hoarder. But it's a show, kind of like, it was weird. It was kind of like one of those Saturday morning type shows, and it's called Marlowe and the Magic Movie Machine.
Dude, I have.
Are you fucking serious?
No, fuck, I never heard of that.
Oh, man, come on. I'm like, I don't even think this is like one of these things that probably will never get a DVD release, if it even has a VHS release. But if you guys just need to look up Marlowe and the Magic Movie Machine. It's fucking trippy, dude. It's basically about this dude. I guess he's like a janitor. He works in this like gigantic building, but he works underground. And there's this computer that he talks to and shit, and they do like movie trivia, and they ask the people questions and shit, and it's just a trippy like late 70s, early 80s type of show. Like, it was supposed to be geared towards kids and shit. But Movie Machine, look this shit up, man. You guys will fucking be like, what the fuck? So that's it for me. And next up, man.
All right, along the same lines, a show that my brother was really into that I was kind of forced to watch. But I got this for cheap. We talked about it during our cartoon, but it didn't really qualify for a cartoon. That is Land of the Lost.
Bam!
Chaka! So I just remember aliens at the time. Fucking, they're so fake, but watching this at like 4 or 5 years old, those little aliens were creepy to me. But now they just look like dudes in suits.
Yeah, dude, Look at the screen. You show me mine. I'll show you. You show me yours. I'll show you mine.
Oh, we're live. We're live.
I know we can't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is Sid and Marty Krofft, man. So this spawned some movies right here. Couple movies. Yep. And dude, do you know that you remember the basketball player Bill Lambert?
Oh yeah.
Dude, he played one of the Slee Stacks in this series. He was one of the aliens in the movie. I mean, in the series, because they were like tall and shit.
Yep.
So he was one of the actors in the costume. Bill Lambert played one of the Slee Stacks. But yeah, man. Chaka. That's one I had on my list. So Hoarder. All right. Huh?
Chaka Zulu.
Chaka Zulu. All right, so keeping up with that like weird, trippy vibe of, you know, the world of Sid and Marty Krofft. Actually, I have the Sid and Marty Krofft Super Show on DVD. It aired from 76 to 78, and it had a bunch of different segments and everything. And that is, hopefully you guys can see this. Is it showing up? You guys see that?
Hey, you gotta hold the fort down. I gotta use the men's room.
All right, man. I'll keep talking. So if you guys can see that, you know, in the chat, this is Sid and Marty Krofft, the world of it. Had like I said, had a bunch of different kind of like a variety type of kids show because it had a lot of different segments. H&R Puffin stuff, Bugaloos, Lidsville, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, which that's the one most of the people remember. Land of the Lost, there's like a couple episodes of that. Far Out, Space Nuts, The Lost Saucer, Electra Woman, and Dinah Girl. Dr. Shrinker, Wonder Bug, Magic Mongo, Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Bigfoot and Wild Boy was probably one of my favorite segments. It was about, you know, a wild boy who lived, you know, in the woods, and there was Bigfoot, a dude in a suit played Bigfoot. The effects for this were pretty cool, man, for the 70s. So, and Bigfoot and Wild Boy, like, they would, you know, some shit would happen in the forest, and it was like this girl that would come and, you know, help them out. And Bigfoot, he was like this big fucking massive dude that could like pick up boulders and toss them at people and shit like that. So also Pryor's Place is on here as well. So the world of Sid and Marty Krofft from 1976 to 1978. That is another, you know, segmented, you know, Saturday morning type of series. No cartoons. It was all like live action stuff, man, and pretty trippy for its time. Sure, people who grew up in my generation they'll remember that and stuff. Keep going because Hoarder's not back yet. Next up, I'm going to talk about a show from 1987, which was also a comic book. I don't know if the show spawned the comic book character or vice versa, but it was about a dude who he would paint his face, and he had like kind of like half a ninja costume and everything. He wouldn't wear the full mask and everything. And he had a gun that he really never used. He just kind of like scared people with it and shit. He was like a vigilante, kind of like along the lines of the Punisher, but his name was Sable, Sable, Sable. He was in all black and everything. 1987, like I said, was also a comic book. Look it up. Ran for one season. Can't remember the actor's name who played the character in it, but check out Sable, man. That was one I remember. I'm back.
I remember. I don't know what show it was on Sid and Nancy or whatever Puffin stuff, but there was a scene where the kids were playing like music, like a boombox, like real loud, and then there was this guy that said, "You're playing music too loud," and they were like monsters or something, and they were up in the mountains, and they pointed at him and said, "Let's get them." You don't remember that?
Like there's like I was talking to the chat, man. There's so many different segments on this, man. It's kind of hard to know like what's what. I know the Bugaloos. I think there was music in that because it was a Bugaloos is a radio show and stuff like that. A Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. It was like people in costumes and shit. But yeah, man, there's a bunch of different segments on this set. Like, it's just hard to like know which one. But it was trippy, man. Trippy 70s show.
Jace is in the stream. Yeah, man, back to back. We're back to back, brother.
Back to back to back.
Going good. Yeah, we're just trying to finish the TV show series so we can get you back on, do some movie stuff. But along the same lines, I think I only got a couple more, and then we'll be done with our top 20.
Yeah.
But dude, how can you forget fucking Dukes of Hazzard, man?
Yeah, I have that on my list.
Yeah. Yep. Boss Hog, that that was kind of 1979 through 85. So look at them Daisy Dukes. Catherine Bach,
Yep.
Bo Duke, Luke Duke, Tom Wopat,
Yep.
John Schneider, Uncle Jesse, rest in peace. Cooter, you remember Cooter?
Scooter, yeah. Was it Cooter or Scooter?
Cooter.
Cooter.
Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings.
Enos was in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sheriff was played by Sheriff Roscoe was played by James Best.
Yeah.
And then Enos, was Sonny Schroeder. But you know, everyone knows of the fucking what they call it, the fucking orange.
The General Lee.
Yeah, the General Lee. So that fucking Confederate flag and shit. So.
I know that there's people now to this day that still fucking put that like horn sound in their car, man. Like really, like wow, that's a long time ago. Yep.
Yeah, but you know, of course, with the Confederate flag and everything, it was kind of like known as a hick show, you know.
Definitely, it was a hick show, but it was fun, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you watched it for what it was. Basically, the car chases and them fucking jumping over a little pond and shit like that. Like, just always outwitting the law, you know. So, and then Daisy Duke, man, fuck, come on now.
I know.
So, yeah, yo.
If I was
all right,
was one of the brothers, there would be some incest. Oh
shit! No, they were all cousins. Like that was their cousin and shit.
Okay, so in the South, that makes it all right. Oh
shit! I guess for them motherfuckers, not for us. But anyway, up north, we don't do all that. So anyway, we're not gonna go there. Next up for me is another one that I don't think anybody's familiar with. It's a show called The Wizard from 1986 to 87. So only like 19 episodes. Stars David Rappaport, who is a small person. He's a short guy, you know, real short. Like I think he might have even been in Time Bandits. I think he might have started now. I'm not sure, but he was like, you know, he was a dwarf, and he was in this. He basically was like a toy maker or something, and you know, it had, you know, involved like you know, like some type of peril that, you know, you had to face and everything. And he was like very, very intelligent, and you know, he was the wizard, known as the wizard. He would create these things to kind of, you know, fight the peril, whatever it was going on, from 1986 to 87. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, look that one up as well. All right.
Yeah. Next one, show ran from 89 to 93, 97 episodes. Starring Neil Patrick Harris. That was Doogie Howser.
Yep.
And so pretty much a genius kid that was employed as a doctor, but he would have to balance his professional life with being a kid, so he didn't get the credibility that adults would. But he was a genius, dude.
What was his friend's name in that? I can't remember that kid that always used to climb in his window and shit.
Vinny.
Who?
Vinny.
Vinny, yeah, his homeboy and shit. Vinny, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I always get him mixed up, like that Doogie Howser's sidekick with the sidekick from what was it, Family Ties?
Oh,
Boner.
That was one case.
Yeah.
Look alike.
I always get those two mixed up, man.
Yeah, yo, Doogie Howser.
All right. Doogie Howser, yeah, I watched that. That was a good one. Coming in at number, well, I don't know why I'm saying number, but whatever. Coming in, another one. I mentioned it earlier, and I know Hoarder's familiar with this one. Many of you are familiar with this one, and that is Quantum Leap. From 1989 to 1993. So I was probably about 15, 16 in 89. This is one that my grandmother really enjoyed quite a bit. He travels in time and everything. That's why I was saying earlier that Voyager predates Quantum Leap. It was along the same type of premise. You know what I mean? So Quantum Leap, where he jumps into bodies and he travels in time and everything. Just an awesome show, man. And he's got like the dude that was his sidekick that nobody else can see, only him. Just great show, man. Quantum Leap. So I need that series too. So you got that one? All right, so I'll go with another one. Everybody's probably fucking sleeping already because I got that monotone voice and shit. But Porter's taking another shit or something, whatever he's doing. But next up is a show many of you should be familiar with because it was basically a scientific show geared towards kids, showing them how to do different science shit and everything, called Mr. Wizard's World. And it aired from 83 to 91. Mr. Wizard's World showed you a bunch of different ways to, kids to do science, to get them interested in it and shit like that. Mr. Wizard's World from 83 to 91. Order.
Well, after taking a shit, now I have more room for food. So
yeah,
something to eat, bro. Star Trek, bro. That's my next pick. Just off the top of my head, that was something, that it actually ran for only like 3 or 4 seasons, right?
Yeah, the original series.
Yeah, Star Trek Enterprise. And so I just remember, Mr. Sulu, Scotty, but pretty much the episode where they fight those little critter things.
Oh yeah, yep. The Tribbles, Trouble with the Tribbles.
Tribbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shot. I didn't get after that. I wasn't into Next Generation or Voyager or Deep Space Nine. It was all about the original.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. I was all about the original too. Like, came out in the 60s. Gene Roddenberry. I was one of them shows that wasn't gonna last early on, and people fought to like have it like stay on and stuff. Yeah. And it spawned spawned many different variations of the show. It's got millions and millions of fans. We got like 3 movies out now, 2 movies and 1 coming out.
Way before that, you have like 6. Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about the new movies. The new movies coming out now, like the J.J. Abrams shit. Which are there's 2 movies currently, and there's another one due to come out. It's gonna star Idris Elba is gonna be in it and stuff. So yeah, man.
As a Klingon?
All the original movies, huh?
As a Klingon?
Oh, I don't know what he's playing. I just know he's gonna be in it. He's gonna be in the new film coming out, the new Star Trek.
Okay.
But yeah, man, all types of all types of shows on TV. Spawned like how many different movies? Like, you know, 1, 2, I think 5 movies, original movies. One of my favorite, I think my favorite was The Wrath of Khan. Like that was the second movie, and that to me was it started fall. Huh?
Fantasy Island, dude.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Rourke and shit. He was Khan. So that definitely, yeah. Ricardo Montalban. He was The Wrath of Khan. Yeah, that was probably my favorite Star Trek movie from back then. But the new ones are cool. The new ones are good. I have the 2 first ones, and I'll get the third one when that comes out. You know, but yeah, that's due to come out real soon. So Star Trek, man, I agree, man. Captain Kirk, fucking all types of chicks, green bitches and whatever else, man. Chicks with tentacles and shit. But yeah, Bert. Next up for me, man, is boom, 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 boom. Let's see, Spencer for Hire from 1985 to 1988. What was this dude's name? Robert
Ullman.
something. I can't. Robert, yeah, Robert Ullman.
Ulrich.
Ulrich. Robert Ulrich, and had Hawk. Hawk was his homeboy, the black bald dude, remember? And
Yeah.
then that actually spawned a show called Hawk. Like Hawk had a spin-off of his own show and shit. So Spencer for Hire from 1985 to 1988, man. Cool. You know, I think they were in Vegas, right? Were they in Vegas or Cali? I'm trying to remember. But yeah, they gotta do the research. That probably has a DVD set right now, guys. So, like I said, if you guys know something in the chat that we don't, and we're just spitting all this knowledge out there, and you guys have something that we don't know, just put it in the chat, man. Or if you're familiar with some of these shows that we're talking about, you know, let us know too, man. So
Don't be shy.
that's it.
All right. They tried to redo this one. It didn't really work out, but that is from 83 to 85, sci-fi. V.
Nice.
Yeah, that was freaky, dude. They had like them viper snake faces, cobra faces.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, they peel the skin off and shit.
Who starred in it?
Oh, it's that I remember. Oh, you know who was in that? Robert Englund was in that.
Yep.
Robert Englund. The chick that looks like Kirstie Alley, but it's not Kirstie Alley. She was in the movie They Live with I can't remember her name, but she was in They Live. So her with the really blue eyes. I think she was the main queen mother or the main like lizard chick and shit in that. Yep.
Hell yeah.
That was a good show, man. So doing that, huh?
What was that?
They tried redoing that?
Yeah, recently.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the last 5 years.
Wow. And it just didn't stick.
A couple I think a couple of seasons.
Okay. All right. Yeah, V, I definitely remember that, man. Like that was one that I remember it freaked us out a little bit, like when we were kids. Because them tearing off their faces and being lizards underneath, and we would go talk in the recess yard about that shit, like in the schoolyard, like, oh, did you watch V? Did you see what happened? And like the tongue, we'd fucking play like we were lizards, like the tongue would come out and shit. Man.
You talk to Julio in the schoolyard.
Yeah, be talking to Julio and shit.
Julio in the schoolyard. All right, that's really top 25 right there, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Just want to pound out some other ones we didn't mention?
Yeah, I got a few backups. I can run through a couple of them without giving much explanation. But I would say Buffy the Vampire Slayer from 97 to 03. My daughter, she was born in 99, but like that's another one where when she started watching it when she was a little bit older, she loved that series. Like she would have to watch it. Alien Nation from 1989 to 1990. The TV series based off the movie. Another one, I think this one starred Ed Asner as a principal or school teacher. I want to say it was Ed Asner. I might be mistaking it with another show, but it was called The Bronx Zoo.
Okay.
From 87 to 88. From 87 to 92, a show that was called Jake and the Fat Man.
Yep.
That one, actually, there was a dude. The Fat Man was a guy. He was like he was a cop or private eye or detective, whatever, from Hawaii that moved to like Cali or some shit. So Jake and the Fat Man. What's up?
That one with Stacy Keach.
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about. Damn. Does it begin with an H? Fuck.
It had initials. Something, something, something.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. The Stacy Keach one. Yep. Fuck. Hey, somebody in the chat, look it up, man. But I remember watching that too, man.
$6 Million Man, Bionic Woman.
Yes. Yep, with Lee Majors. Yep. And then the Bionic Woman. Yep. I remember that. Wonder Woman, man. Fuck. Definitely. Batman and Robin, dude, the 60s one.
Yeah, man. How about Charlie's Angels? Shit.
Charlie's Angels, yes, definitely. That was a show that they referred to as like, it didn't have, like, a lot of people like kind of like downplayed that show. They're like, oh, that's a TNA show, tits and ass show. You know what I mean? Because even though it was on primetime TV, they didn't show tits and ass, but you know, they're like, oh, it's not. The premise of it isn't smart enough. It's just to attract the male audience. It's TNA type of show. That's what they were saying about it back then. So, but yeah, Charlie's Angels was cool, man. So,
dude, I'm surprised you didn't say Airwolf.
Airwolf, yeah. Riptide.
Yep.
Here's one that you're probably not familiar with, Hoarder, but it's a show called The White Shadow. From 78 to 81. It had a white guy who, you know, he was the White Shadow. He had like was an inner city coach for like a basketball team and shit. It was like a lot of African American players on the team. So the White Shadow, you know, the white man trying to be down in the hood, you know, thought he was cool and shit. But yeah, that was a cool one. I like that one a lot.
Hill Street Blues.
Yep, Hill Street Blues.
St. Elsewhere.
I never got into that, man.
Yeah. Starsky and Hutch.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Kojak.
Kojak. Yeah, Kojak. Ball motherfucker with a lollipop, man. You know. Yep. Telly Savalas. Yep. Awesome show.
You had your courtroom shows: Matlock, Murder She Wrote, Law and Order, L.A. Law.
Yep. Oh, what was the other one? No, I was thinking of something else. What was the one with Steve Guttenberg? It was like a hospital set one.
Chicago Hope.
No.
ER.
I was thinking Trapper John MD, but I'm not sure if that's the one that he was on. I could have swore it was Steve Guttenberg that was on some type of doctor show like that back then.
Quincy,
yep, that was a good one.
You had your primetime soap operas: Dallas, Knots Landing, Dynasty,
Falcon Crest. Yeah.
You had your westerns, Briscoe County.
Beretta, dude.
Yep, Beretta, Alienation, or Laredo.
Yep.
Bonanza. Oh, fuck. Highway to Heaven, dude. That was my joint.
Highway to Hell with Michael Landon from fucking Little House on the Prairie.
You said Highway to Hell. Highway to Heaven, bro.
Yeah, no, I know Highway to Heaven. I got mixed up with the movie Highway to Hell, man.
Moonlighting.
Yeah, with
Who's else?
yep.
Twin
Sybil
Peaks.
Danning, Twin Peaks.
Sybil Shepherd, motherfucker.
Oh, was this? Oh, fuck, man.
Thinking of horror.
I'm thinking of something else. Is what I'm thinking of, man.
Max Headroom.
Yep, Max Headroom. How many we got watching still?
3.
Damn. I'm gonna throw one out there.
Dark Angel.
Go ahead.
Dark Angel.
Nah, dude, that was in Dark Angel was in the 2000s, kid.
I don't know.
Yeah, look it up. I'm telling you.
Crime Story.
Crime Story. Dark Angel came out in the 2000s. That's with Jessica Alba, right?
Okay.
I think that's the one you're talking about.
Sure.
Unless there's one I don't know of. But yeah, that came out later than '99. Damn. What's one I didn't say yet? Fucking Tales of the Unexpected is a 1979 to 1988, another kind of like anthology series. Like weird shit, like weird type of. I remember it had the opening was like this carousel going around. It was actually a British show based off Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl wrote a lot of, I think, a lot of these Tales of the Unexpected. But look it up, you guys. Tales of the Unexpected. I think MCD, Movie Cave Dave, was telling me that there is a whole series of this. It was some weird shit that I used to catch late at night. It would come on after like something like Tales from the Dark Side or Friday the 13th, the series. Like fucking 1, 2 in the morning. So it was probably something that was on BBC.
Outdoor shows. Grizzly Adams.
Yeah.
Swiss Family Robinson.
Yep.
Remember Scarecrow and Mrs. King?
I do. Yep.
Fucking Hardcastle.
Heart to Heart.
Heart to Heart.
Yep.
Hardcastle McCormick, man. Those cars.
Yep. What was another one? Was it? I think there was one called Blue Thunder. I know there was Airwolf. I know Blue Thunder's a movie. I'm thinking it was a show too for some reason.
White Guy, China Beach.
China Beach, the Vietnam War era show. I remember that.
Twin Peaks.
Yep. Yep.
Beverly Hills Billies.
Beverly Hillbillies, man.
That's common.
But sitcom, man. We're going back, dude. Oh, BJ and the Bear.
Yep.
From 1979. It was a dude, a trucker who had like a monkey. So you know, it's kind of ironic that Clint Eastwood came out with the movie like, you know, Every Which Way But Loose, Any Which Way You Can, and then on TV they tried to capitalize off that success with BJ and the Bear. So I had the same premise and shit.
Were you ever into? We forgot to mention Outer Limits.
Oh, dude, that's another one, another anthology series.
Yeah, that's why I kept on showing that. Oh, I thought you were gonna pick it, but you know, you had a lot of shows like, you know, like Melrose Place, 90210, Seventh Heaven, Party of Five. You know, some of those later.
Charmed.
ones.
Did Charmed come out in the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baywatch.
Baywatch. Yep.
30-something.
I think we've covered like a shitload, man. Like we've covered so many. And it's like many more that we haven't covered, but you know,
Like, I mean, Doctor Who, man. I'm not a Whovian, but Doctor Who was old school. Cagney and
60s,
Lacey.
man.
Fame.
Yep. Fame.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes. Yep.
You have Hercules and Xena.
Yeah, I know Xena came out in the 90s, but did the Hercules one come out in the 90s?
Yep.
Okay.
I think before Xena, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Hercules was first with Kevin Sorbo, right?
Yep. Lois
Yep.
and Clark.
Lois and Clark. Another
Dude.
good one.
New York Undercover. I thought that was your joint.
That was my shit. That was another 90s one right there. New York Undercover. Yep.
Nash Bridges. Jag.
Yep. Yep.
NYPD Blue.
Yep.
Renegade. Remember Renegade?
Yeah, with fucking this dude, Lorenzo Lamas.
Yeah, Lorenzo Lamas.
Dude, there was a show way before that in the early 80s called Renegades. And it starred Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze was in it. He was young. And it was about like a street gang and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, look that shit up. Renegades with Patrick, I think it was Patrick Swayze. And, you know, it was just like, I don't know. They gave them the choice of like either like, oh, you motherfuckers are going to jail or you're going to help us out with this. So Renegades from the early 80s. Look that shit up. That had a short run as well.
Okay.
So Renegades. Yep.
Remember VIP? Pam Anderson?
Yeah. Late 90s, right? That had to be late 90s. Yep.
I remember Linda Hamilton. Remember Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah. That was pretty good.
Wasn't what's his name? Hellboy wasn't the dude that played Hellboy, he was the Beast.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he played the Beast in that show. That was what's his name? Come on, help us out, people. Who played Hellboy? Can't think of the actor's name right now. We're brain fart. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he played the Beast in that show with Linda Hamilton. That was a good show too, man. Kind of like a long, kind of romantic type, but still fantasy and shit. So
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. Yeah, I think Ron Perlman played the Beast in that show.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent, what's his name?
So.
Yeah, that looks like him. He plays a lot of beasts. He's one ugly looking dude.
Yeah, he's got that face for that, you know, just to play those type of characters, man. You know what I mean?
Movie for Miles in the chat. He said Ron something.
Fucking Ron Burgundy.
Ron Perlman. He knows.
Yeah.
All right, so that covered pretty much the dramatic action, sci-fi, horror aspect, but dude, we got variety shows, kids shows, stuff that we want to talk about. Like, this is very nostalgic for us, but I gotta go first because this show that I watched, that was non-cartoon, non-game show that I watched. Jace, you're late to the party as always. Ron Perlman, yes. 3 hours later. Starred Bob Ross.
Oh shit.
And that is The Joy of Painting. So who in the chat knows Bob Ross? Bob Ross was the shit. Believe it or not, my dad had the hairdo of Bob Ross in the 80s. But yeah, he had this afro, like perm.
Yep.
Tight curls. But Bob Ross would be, you know, he would be painting these pictures and he'd be like, all right, guys, this is a little bit dark here. Let's make it happy. And he would like fucking take that little, the palette knife and fucking grab a glop of paint and like, he would like slice it. You know what I'm saying? He would slice it he would like spatter it on the palette and then he would like grab some and then he'd be like, let's make little happy trees. Happy. And then he would make that, okay, time to wash the brush, and then he'd be like,
right?
he would pound in that, and then he'd be like, fan outs.
He like
little
like
cloud.
this.
Little,
Like, look at this mountain. Look at this mountain right here. It needs a little something. You know, let's give it some snow. You know,
yeah.
dude was like, that show was so fucking addicting because it came on mad early in the fucking morning, like early, like 6 o'clock in the morning. I remember on the channel like I used to watch before cartoons.
Yeah.
And shit. And it was just like he was so like engaging, like just with his voice, and like you would watch and like, shit, I think I can do that. But he would do it in like fucking, seemed like he would do it in like 10, 15 minutes and be done. You know?
So guys in the chat, I don't know if you guys got that in Australia or outside the US, but type in Bob Ross or the joy of painting. The joy of painting. That's something that, you know, we got with along with our Sesame Street, but it will always be on every day. But to me, that was like so much of my childhood because I'd be so amazed. You have this blank canvas, and in the beginning, it just looked like shit, and then at the end, it was like this majestic piece of scenery. Like the way he would mirror the fucking the landscape in the water and see the reflections of that, but was just or like if it was like dark clouds, like the little ray, the beams of light that comes out through it was just so amazing. I'm getting a hard on for Bob Ross, but you know, it's a painting.
Yeah,
That,
man. Yeah, it was definitely engaging for me as a young kid, man, watching that shit, man. And just him with the fro, man. The one of the few white dudes that could rock a fro and be legit with it and shit. You know what I mean? So, oh man. I got one, man. It was a music variety show, and I mean probably for me at least the most famous music variety show growing up as a kid ran all the way from 1971 to 2006. Motherfucking Don Cornelius, you know, let's take a ride.
Train.
Yeah, man, the Soul Train, man. The Soul Train dancers, the fucking Soul Train line. I mean, this is it's infamous, man. I mean, everybody knows this because it ran for so long, and everybody does that. You know, they'll go to parties and form a line, and then people dance down the middle and shit. The Soul Train line.
Yeah.
You know, had like a bunch of awesome musical guests throughout the years on it. It broke a lot of artists open, you know, as far as their careers, you know, breaking them out into the scene. But yeah, man, Soul Train, 1971 to 2006, man. So,
one variety show that you know I continually look for, watch, Saturday Night Live. So that started early in the 80s, and it's more
before
of
that, brother. Like
yeah, 70s.
75 to now.
So it's one of the longest running shows.
Yep.
But you know, I never got into the real early stuff. That was a little bit dated for me, but you know, I grew up around the time like when I got into it, like was with a lot of them are dead, but you know, like Chris Farley, you know, Adam Sandler, Dana Carvey. That was mine. I got some of the older episodes, box sets, seasons on DVD, but I got a lot of them, you know, where it just has the character, like Will Ferrell or Eddie Murphy, and has a lot of their famous skits. But you know, nowadays it kind of lost its flavor. But that was staying up till midnight. That was the hard part, is that you had to stay up, you know, till midnight to watch it. But it's just fucking hilarious. like some of the stuff, but you could see like Eddie Murphy. A lot of famous people came out of fucking that. Eddie Murphy, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, you know, Steve Martin, Will Ferrell.
Yep.
Now it's, you know, more recently, Kirsten Wiig, Amy Poehler, you know, but pretty much, yeah, Adam Sandler, you know, so some key people. But Saturday Night Live, man, I remember too. I liked it, the fact that, you know, it was like a 90-minute show, and then they would have guests like rock, you know, like the current R&B groups or rock groups.
Yep. Yep. And they always have like a guest host on it and shit, man. Just
Yep, and they would participate.
Probably the longest running variety show till date, man. Like 75 till the present. I don't think there's anything on TV right now that's been on that long, man. Yeah. The only other thing I can think of, which, you know, is a kids variety show that's been on longer than that, from fucking Sesame Street, man. 1969 till the present.
Yep.
Sesame Street is still going hard, dude. Like, I mean, just the Children's Television Workshop. Used to watch this shit on public access TV, Channel 2, out here back in the day, out on the East Coast, up north, up here. Sesame Street, we all grew up with that. I mean, for fucking some people, man, I mean, that just enforced what they were already teaching you in school. Like, learn how to count, you know, like with the count and shit. Ha, 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 ha. 2 cookies. Ha, 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 ha. 3 cookies. Ha, 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 ha. You know, the count, motherfucking Bert and Ernie, Cookie Monster, Oscar the Grouch. Who? Elmo. Yeah. That came a lot later, after my time. Big Bird, Snuffleupagus, fucking them two alien things that they wouldn't talk, but they'd like keep saying the same word over and over again, the alien things or whatever. So yeah, man. Sesame Street, 69 till the present. Longest probably running show that I can think of right now, man.
Yeah. One that I liked as a kid, I preferred it over Sesame Street. That was I Can Do Anything in a book, reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton, man.
Yeah.
So Reading Rainbow, it was fun, man. He would read books, and then when I was in elementary school, I'd go straight to the library and try and check out that book.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one, man. That was on when I was a kid too, man. Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, man. I'm just glad that I grew up with PBS that time before the fucking like Blue's Clues and the Zoobilee Zoo and the fucking
Caillou,
Teletubbies, Barney.
Caillou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
all that shit.
Where that fucking like the Jamaica one.
Oh yeah.
Some island. Fuck.
What's the one with the sloth? There's one with like a sloth or something. Like, I don't know, some kind of.
I think that's the one I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. But yeah, another one, variety show from the 90s. Favorite, probably my next to Saturday Night Live, was from 1990 to 94, and that's In Living Color. And that broke a lot of people out too. Jim Carrey, I mean, you know, he didn't get his start there, but that's where I think what really elevated him to the next level.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or when he'd do Vanilla Ice or some shit.
Yep, Jamie Foxx.
Yep. The Wayans brothers. I mean.
Yeah. Jennifer Lopez.
Yep. Yep. Rosie Perez.
Oh, she was
I
a.
think she was.
She was a girl.
I want to say she was. I think she was a dancer, or she had something to do with that show as well, man.
Yeah.
Yep. But definitely J-Lo. J-Lo was a dancer on that show.
And then there was the blonde chick that I was into too. One of the blonde one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. What else? Another music one that I was really into that ran from 1980 till 1988, and I would always watch it with my grandmother. She would actually get up and pull me off the couch and want to start dancing with me, and that was Solid Gold with Marilyn. Yeah, Marilyn McCoo and the Solid Gold Dancers and shit.
Yep.
Music variety show, man. So that was a good show too. Solid Gold.
What was the one with Dick Clark?
Oh, American Bandstand.
Yeah, dude. That was
Mm-hmm.
one too, man. American Bandstand.
Yep. They used to call Dick Clark the world's oldest teenager and shit. That dude never aged. He fucking stayed like young looking for a long time.
So Saturday morning show that I watched as a kid, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah. Yep. That was fucking, wasn't that Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes. No, Lawrence Fishburne was the cowboy. Lawrence Fishburne, cowboy.
Who was the genie?
I want to say that was the dude that does Hank Azaria, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I just remember, I know Lawrence Fishburne was in it. I didn't know if he was the genie or the cowboy. Holy shit. Pee-wee's Playhouse, man. Yo, Pee-wee's still doing shit, man. He's still acting, man.
Oh, 60 something.
That's another motherfucker that doesn't age. Like,
yep.
He still looks pretty young, man.
Phil Hartman.
Who?
Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
He was the sailor, Captain Carl.
Yep. Phil Hartman. Rest in peace, man. That guy died. Yep. That was a funny dude too, man. Funny guy. Damn. Another show that was like kind of like Saturday Night Live, but it was in Canada, and John Candy was on it. Rick Moranis. What's his name? The dude that played the father in the American Pie movies. And that was from 1976 to 1984. SCTV.
Oh, Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy, yeah. SCTV was like broke out a lot of Canadian people and stuff, man. Like I said, John Candy and all that. That was a funny show. I remember seeing that probably in syndication. I don't know if it was after 84 because it was Canadians, but it was like, ran along the same era as Saturday Night Live.
I had
Catherine who?
Catherine O'Hara. She's pretty famous.
Was she in that?
Yep. Harold Ramis.
Hal Ramis, yeah, from Ghostbusters, man. I mean, shit. Yep. Another guy. I know Hoarder's gonna remember this. Hoarder. From 1980 to 1992, another public access show. 2-1 Contact is the reason. Some shit like that. I remember.
Yep.
Is the dun. Yep. So they would have kind of like some educational stuff on there, but they'd also have like fun stuff like the Bloodhound Gang, which had the dude that played Rembrandt from the Warriors. He was part of the Bloodhound Gang, so that was pretty fucking funny. Because the Warriors came out in '79, and then 3-2-1 Contact ran from like 80 to 92. So Rembrandt was like, I don't know, he must have been young still. Like he had to be over 18 though. So yeah.
And then Kids Incorporated, KIDS.
Kids Incorporated.
That starred Martika. She was the big one, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt was on there.
Yeah, that's your girl.
That was the kind of the one that would compete with the Disney Club, Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah. Yep. Along lines of music.
Fergie was on there too.
Yeah, Fergie, she was in it. Another music one. It came on MTV. This was my shit. Like late '80s to mid '90s, 1988 to 1995. Yo, MTV Raps.
Yeah, yo.
With Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. So they were the hosts of that, man.
Hey,
you'd have the 45 things. What?
Going back, I looked at the cast of Kids Incorporated. It had, well, of course, Mario Lopez, Shanice. It had Shanice.
Wow.
I love your smile.
Damn. What years did that run? Kids Incorporated.
84 to 93.
For what?
84 to 93.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it had Brittany Murphy too.
Yeah, a lot. Yo, that was like a stepping stone.
Fucking, for some reason, it had Scott Wolf. He was on Party of Five. So, man, I gotta revisit that show because they had a lot of Ryan Robbins too from Head of the Class. Weird.
Oh shit. Yep.
Interesting.
Wow, man. Hey, do you remember that show? It was another like variety show, came out in the '90s called All That.
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Do you know who created that? You know who created that show?
Penny Marshall.
No. Brian Robbins.
Brian Robbins.
And Dan Schneider from Head of the Class created All That.
That's correct.
All That.
And all that. Yep.
And all that.
So that was
they created that show.
That was another one, brother.
Yep.
That had Amanda Bynes, Nick Cannon, and Kel.
Yep. That fat white chick, I can't remember her name.
Oh man, that girl is saucy. I'll get it. Lori Beth Denberg, that's her name.
Yeah, the chubby chick.
Lori Beth.
Yeah.
I heard she's hot now.
All right, look it up. We gotta check it out. Is anybody in the chat still watching?
Mr. Nichols, Jace.
No, that.
Rosie O'Donnell looking girl.
Oh, shit.
But come on, man. When you got home from school, you either watched one or two things, okay? You watched soap operas, because they had soap operas from Days of Our Lives. You would catch those. Or you would watch fucking like People's Court. You remember that? Don't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Judge Wapner. You would watch.
Yep.
Judge Judy came later down the line, but ours was People's Court. There was Divorce Court.
Yep.
But yeah, that was fun.
Yep. Oh. Do you remember the Great Space Coaster from 81 to 86?
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably watched it with your siblings, your older siblings and shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
I remember
kind of another
another
live action like show with like live actors and like puppets and shit like on costumes and had this one segment about this one dude. He'd be like, Gary Gnu, No GNUs is good GNUs without Gary GNU and shit. Yeah. This is that shit. It was just like one of those like trippy shows like with people in costumes and, you know, live actors and shit. But the Great Space Coaster had a pretty cool opening credits and shit, man. Guys, look that up. That's shit that, you know, I watched as a kid.
You got to talk about Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah, man.
They had that, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and then remember Real People?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, those were good shows.
Dude, did you know there was an animated Ripley's Believe It or Not?
No.
Yeah, there was. Like later on, but there was an animated Ripley's Believe It or Not. Jack Palance is the one who hosted Ripley's Believe It or Not. You know,
Correct.
And that was an awesome show. And I think afterward was Dean Cain much later.
Correct. And then Albert Ribeiro did some.
Alfonso Ribeiro?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man. Dude, you know what we're forgetting? Classic. The Muppet Show.
Yep.
Man, 1976 to 1981, man, had different actors on it. I remember it had B. Arthur, had the fucking lady from the Bounty paper towel commercial and shit. That's like old school, man. The Muppet Show, man, that spawned like, you know, the cartoon Muppet Babies, has spawned movies.
Babies.
Yeah, variety show, man, the Muppet Show.
The entrance song Roger was saying was a porn thing.
Oh yeah, he was telling us that yesterday. The Muppet Show intro from a porn movie. So that'd be interesting to find out what that was, man. Oh shit.
Mr. Rogers, dude.
Yep, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
With the fucking, what was that, trolley?
Yep. They would go to that kingdom that had the king and the puppets and shit and all that, and had the dude that was the mailman and please won't you be my neighbor? Hi, neighbor.
His stinky feet, take off his shoes.
Yeah, change his sweater and shit.
Then the mailman would come. I remember that.
Yeah.
Nickel says celebrity.
That was some funny shit.
Celebrity death.
Celebrity death match from MTV.
Yeah, claymation.
Mm-hmm.
Cops, man. How can we forget Cops? That's a long show. Bad boys, what you gonna do?
When sheriff come run for you. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. I think you mentioned this, Hoarder, in one of the last things we were talking about. But this was a music show that came on late at night on TBS, Night Tracks.
Yep, Night Tracks.
83 to 92, man. What are you looking up?
The Muppet Show theme song.
Yeah, man.
What did you say?
Oh, just Night Tracks, 1983 to 1992 on TBS.
Yeah, man. Speaking of which, remember Friday Night Videos? Friday night have MTV, so like when I was a kid, dude, Friday night, dude, loved it. But it was only like 90 minutes. Friday Night Videos. Then
dude, there was another one like that too, man.
Yeah, People's Party Machine.
Yeah. No, that too, but another one like out here, man, called New York Hot Tracks. And it ran from 83 to 97. It was on like WABC, man. So yeah, New York Hot Tracks, and that shit I think it predated Friday Night Videos, man, or came out like a week before or some shit like that. But New York Hot Tracks, look that shit up, man.
Yep.
But yeah.
Electric Company.
Yep. 71 to 77. It had Morgan Freeman was the fucking that shit. So I know everybody in the chat and everybody's and knows Morgan Freeman, but Electric Company, he was the black vampire, the Dracula in the Electric Company in 1971-77, man. And they actually had a Spider-Man segment too. Like it was a dude that was in a Spider-Man costume that would come and, you know, had like comic book panels, and he would like, you know, show him like fighting a villain and shit. The Electric Company, man. Another kind of like a Sesame Street type of show back then, but not as successful. So
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was before my time.
Yeah, man. That was even like before my time. So, but I remember, you know, watching it that like mad young. So
You ever
the shit that I was into.
were into wrestling?
I was into wrestling early on. WWF.
Did you watch it like on Saturday when they would have like Saturday main event? Like on Channel 5? Like that was my only way other than pay-per-view to watch it. This was before Nitro.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm definitely before Nitro when it was WWF, when they had like Andre the Giant, fucking Hulk Hogan, you know, Piper.
The only time you could watch it was either live, like they didn't have like a running show except like once a month on Saturday night main event that I know of.
Yeah, I don't remember, man. Like I just remember watching it, and you know, when I was young, and then going to a couple of the actual shows with a friend of mine, him and his dad like took me and shit, you know, because I didn't have no way of getting there. That's Frosty Nights, my homeboy Frosty Nights. I saw a lot of those cats, man. Coco Beware, Macho Man, you know, Junkyard Dog. Yeah, man. But you remember Glow, right? Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling?
Yeah, that was next. That was my joint, man. Honestly, that was the most excited I was for wrestling because, dude, I love like Hollywood and Vine, those brunette girls.
Mm-hmm.
Farmer's Daughter. Remember Mount Fuji? The big fucking Mount Fiji. Mount Fiji.
Yeah.
That big Samoan chick.
Dude, that would come on mad late at night over here.
Yeah, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, because it was pretty raunchy, man.
Yeah.
Like they were pretty it was pretty racy. Yeah, Hollywood and Vine, Farmer's Daughter. I'm trying to remember.
The Great Muda.
What?
The Great Muda, the Great Muda or Mula or whatever.
Fabulous.
Remember her?
The Fabulous
Muda. Okay, Fabulous Muda. I thought it was the Great Muda.
That was WWF. That was the old lady. The Fabulous.
Yeah, but didn't she start off in? I thought she started off in Glow, man.
No way. Nope. She was way. Nope.
Okay.
You know who started that? Was Sylvester Stallone's mom.
Glow?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Her and his brother, Frank Stallone. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I remember that. Yeah, she was.
That didn't run long though, did it? There wasn't many years that show.
No, it wasn't. It was probably like 2-3 years.
Yep.
But I miss it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like there's ways to watch it, maybe on YouTube or somebody taped it or some shit, man, from fucking VHS or whatever. Hey, you good? Oh shit. Oh, I got one more, man, and then I'm pretty much tapped. So I think we can, unless you for like variety shows, I would say the Gong Show, man, from 1975 to 1980.
Yep.
Fucking, and there is I think there's a Blu-ray out right now of the dude that was the host and everything. It has something to do with the Gong Show.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's Twilight Time or it's one of those companies that put it out. But yeah. So the Gong Show, man. I mean, if nobody's familiar with the Gong Show, check it out. Variety show. Jamie Farr from MASH. I remember him being on it quite a bit. He would like be one of the ones. It was funny because they would have like somebody come out kind of like and do some kind of like talent, and then they try to prevent each other from gonging the gong and shit. Yep. So yeah, pretty funny shit, man. So
what about
Dick
Clark? He hosted and what's the other guy from Star Search?
Oh, Ed McMahon.
TV's bloopers and practical jokes. Remember that on Sunday?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Anybody still in the chat saying anything?
Yep. Movie Man Jace. Damn, Hoarder. You need to hit that 700. I know, man. It's been a struggle. Up 2, down 1. Up 2, down 3.
You'll get it, man.
Yan Kan Cook. You remember that? Martin Yan
Yes.
Cook. Channel 9. Yan Kan Cook.
You saying Channel 9 like everybody had it on Channel 9 and shit.
PBS, Channel 9.
That was only in the Pacific Northwest, brother. That wasn't like all over the United States.
America's Most Wanted. That was a big one.
Yeah, man. Definitely. And you know what spawned all that, man? Code Adam and all that was the guy's son ended up getting abducted and shit, man.
Yeah. Yep.
So
you remember some talk shows that that I would catch back in the day? Phil Donahue.
Yep. Yep.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yep. Ricky Lake.
Jerry Springer.
Yep.
Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones.
Yeah, the blonde chick. Go, Jenny. Holy shit, Jenny Jones.
I remember her.
Then, let's see. Jenny Jones. Then you had all those, like, those miscellaneous shows, news shows, like Inside, what is it? Inside Edition, Entertainment Tonight. What was that other one? Dun dun.
Oh.
Remember that one? Hard Copy.
Hard Copy. Yep.
Maury Povich back in the day. Morton Downey Jr. Remember Morton Downey?
Yes. Yes. I do remember Morton. That came on late at night too.
Yeah, he would cuss. He was hardcore.
Always smoking cigarettes and shit.
Yeah, dude. That was hard.
He'd be like yelling in your face. You'd see the fucking spit flying out of his mouth and shit, man. It was buck wild, that show.
Yeah. You remember It's the Tom Green Show.
Yeah.
Tom Show. Corny.
My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips.
BET, Comic View.
Who?
Comic View.
Oh, yes. Comic View. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
There was some good music shows on BET as well. I taped a lot of videos off that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crush is in Crush. Too busy making my video. He said, "Whoa, I barely caught up on the last stream."
Damn. I ain't seen Crush in IG. This motherfucker's been MIA, yo.
Yep. He's fucking Criterion hungry. That's what's up.
Criterion.
You know you be watching like fucking Def Comedy Jam and shit.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely.
You remember Ben
That was
Stiller
my
show?
shit.
The Ben Stiller show on MTV?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But MTV had some old school ones. Club MTV, where they
Club
would,
MTV.
yeah, they would just be dancing like fucking.
A lot of the spring break shit. MTV would always air that spring break shit. You know, they go down to Florida or they go to different parts of like the country for spring break, and they'd always have motherfuckers dancing and all that shit. Remember
Yeah.
that?
How about Arsenio Hall, man? That was big. 80s.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, he tried making a comeback within the past like 5 years too, man. I think that kind of fell through.
That fell out.
Yeah.
Real Stories of the Highway Patrol.
I don't remember that, man.
Yeah, that was something that would come, like, it was like 90s that they bit off Cops right after Cops.
Okay.
In
Dude, there was a fucking show called Cop Rock where they
Really?
would dance and shit. Yeah, it was like weird. They had music. Yeah, look it up, man. Cop Rock.
Damn.
Awesome shit. Look up Cop Rock, man. You'll be like, what the fuck?
Cockblock.
Ooh, Cock Block.
Silly.
Fuck.
Geraldo, dude.
Dude, Geraldo Rivera, man.
That
Yeah.
class
Got smacked the fuck.
episode with the fucking Ku Klux Klan where they were throwing
Oh,
chairs and shit. That was dope.
that was brutal, man.
He got fucking knocked up the nose.
He got fucking cock blocked in the face and shit, yo.
Yeah. Lisa had her own show, Lisa Gibbons.
Yep, I remember that. Yep. Lisa Gibbons.
Dance Party USA.
Yep.
I
Dance
like
Fever, man.
Yeah, I like the dancing shows.
Yeah, definitely, man. Me too. The dancing and music shows were big, man.
Yeah, Star Search. You remember Star Search? There's a lot of popular people.
Yeah.
Star Search.
Yep. There's like progress the careers of
Sam Harris, Sawyer Brown.
Sawyer
They're
Brown.
country. You don't know.
Nah,
Here,
I don't know about all that. Yeah. Yeah, man. What else you got?
I got you remember At the Movies?
Yeah, with Cisco and Ebert.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert.
Yep.
They really didn't get along with each other. I watched the Life Itself, the documentary of Ebert, and they were pretty much at odds. They would, like, in between like shots, they would be like jabbing at each other, dude.
Well, didn't they both pass away? I think they're both dead now, right?
Probably. Yeah,
I know.
it was Siskel, Ebert, and Roper. Siskel died.
Siskel died first, and I think Ebert just passed not too long ago, man. If I'm not mistaken.
He had throat cancer. I don't think he survived.
Yeah. That was my dude, though. He liked the black chicks and shit. Ebert. So,
Damn. Visual Expression said, "Y'all putting up streams like Step Up movies." Hey man, you want on the last bit, man? You want to spit out your favorite TV shows?
yeah, let somebody come on, man.
Let us know. Who wants on? Who wants on just to talk shows, man? Me and John been fucking talking for 10 hours the past 2 days. Give us a
Give me a break.
So Britney Spears was on Star Search.
Yeah.
Paula Abdul was on Star Search.
Mm-hmm.
And Beyonce was on Star Search. Alanis Morissette was on Star Search. Justin Timberlake on Star Search. Tatiana Ali was on Star Search. Brad Garrett, he won the comedy competition, was on Star Search.
From Everybody Loves Raymond, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Brad Garrett. Yo, you know what I think, man, about him? Because he's so tall and he's got that real deep fucking voice. If they ever did like a live action, like big screen Monsters movie, they should get him to play Herman Munster.
Yeah.
He would be perfect.
Wasn't he?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay.
That was the father. The father in Everybody Loves Raymond played young Frankenstein.
Okay.
He played Frankenstein's monster in Young Frankenstein, the father in Everybody Loves Raymond. So there's a little bit of trivia for you young folk and shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're doing the fucking the grandma, the old grandma. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dragging
You know,
that.
the mother from Everybody Loves Raymond, Doris Roberts, she just died, man.
Oh shit.
Yep. So she passed away, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Matthew McConaughey. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle, Kevin James, all were on Star Search. Norm Macdonald. So there you have it.
Damn, bunch of mofos.
Yep.
Who's trying to jump in? Because I got to go take a piss.
Viz said it's bedtime.
I got to work tomorrow. Shit.
Yeah. At noon.
No, at 3:30.
Go take your piss.
But I got to get up anyway tomorrow because I'm going to Target. I'm like, I forgot. I think something comes out tomorrow on Tuesday. I forgot what it is.
On Blues Day.
Yeah. Like, people put in the chat what comes out.
What comes out? New release Blues Day. Hello? Oh, that's it. The Revenant. Okay. Might have to hoard up on that. All right, guys. Well, John pretty much said what he had to say. But we are fully done with TV shows, anything to do with TV. I mean, we didn't talk about like sports and stuff, but if I were to watch anything, it would be like Sports Center, NBA Inside Stuff, NFL Live, NFL Today, you know, those type of shows. So next week's topic, we were thinking of maybe doing, we'll take a vote here. We might do retro video games. We might do retro video games, and we could throw in toys as a bonus because, you know, I don't think that's toys you can't do a whole episode on. But definitely we'll look at doing retro video games, talking, you know, back in the day we had Atari, NES, pre-disc days, I think. I never had a Super Nintendo or N64, but, you know, regular 8-bit Nintendo, Sega. I had a Sega. Yep. Sega. Fluffy in this motherfucker. Shall we?
Get him in this bitch.
Saved by the Bell. Dude, don't say Saved by the Bell. That was last week's episode, bruh. That was a sitcom.
Sitcom.
That was a sitcom.
Who said that?
Jordan. Tiffany Amber Tyson.
That's his girl, right?
Yeah, that's his girl. And you know it's true.
Girl, you know it's true.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
silk stockings. We forgot about silk stockings. Fuck. You said fuck that Saved by the Bell. He said silk stockings.
Yo,
Red shoe down.
that's that late night
Yeah.
Skinamax type of shit.
Fucking Taxi Cab Confessions.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking real. Yeah.
Hookers on the point in the Bronx.
Yep. Silk stockings. Yeah, so next week, man, we got retro video games. It's gonna be a late one because John works, but it'll be like a late episode, which seems to do better than the early shows.
I'll
So
definitely have some shit to show too, man, for that. So.
this whole shelf, he'll just pick up, he'll do it on his phone and show us some shelves. So we'll definitely, you know, we can do a video game toys. Does that sound good, guys? Or do you want us to get back into, we can do like fucking, we can go back to 80s early films.
Yep.
We'll need to do like horror. We can do horror, sci-fi, comedy. Yep. Or you can go, we can do actors. Damn, he said silk stockings twice. Shit. It was that good, he typed it twice.
Oh, shit.
Fucking Outlaw. BLU-RAY Outlaw says, hi, guys. And then 3 hours later, he goes, horror, dude. That
what
guy.
Did you say, horror?
He picked horror. He wants
okay.
horror. Hey, we'll do it if you want to be on the guest. So make your list of your top 20. Let's go 25. Top 25 horror films pre-2000.
Yes. All right.
You down, Outlaw? About the same time? About the same time as tonight? As next week? But Sunday night? Are you down? Okay, so make your list, Outlaw. You're our guests.
Cool.
You're our guest. Be our guest. So we'll get that out. We'll do 80s horror. Jace, don't worry. We'll get you on. Outlaw gonna school us, man, Mr. Horror. But I know, John, you got some tricks up your sleeve.
Oh yeah, you already know, man.
For Sunday night, John, does that work after you get back home from work?
Yeah, that works definitely, man.
Cool. Outlaw, you in Kentucky or Tennessee? Is that considered Mountain Central Time?
Outlaw's like probably an hour behind me, man.
Yeah. Are you Kentucky, bro? Tennessee? Kentucky? He's Kentucky, so yeah. He's Eastern, so he's you. So yeah, if you're up at this time, it'll start about midnight or so, between midnight and 12:30 Eastern time. So we'll do horror. So what you need to do is have like rank your top. It has to be before the year 2000. Rank your top. Let's go 25 of all time, and then like backups. We always bring up like some honorable mentions, and we end up just naming everything that we can think of anyway.
Yeah,
you know? And then we cover everyone's ground, all aspects of it. So that's pretty much it.
Also, if you have the movie and you can show it,
so or even figures or anything of, if you're talking about Friday the 13th, you can show a figure, you can show the box set, you can show your favorite, single disc version, exclusive. But that's what we do. Damn.
Yeah, I think if we get Outlaw, he's really gonna come fucking strong on that one, because he got a lot of horror and shit.
This guy will make us listen. Anything he doesn't have, he's gonna go buy. That's Outlaw, man.
Right.
He's gonna bring Lucille to the show and shit. It's protection. It's like, what? You didn't agree with my number one?
Smash.
Yeah. Ooh, smash. Yeah, that's cool, Outlaw. Damn, there's a lot of people that, you know, you know. I'll put it out early, but yeah, I'm sure a lot of like Friday the 14th, you know, we could get if he's probably sleeping right now, but he was on earlier. But I know he's in the horror. I'm not mentioning the others that keep dogging us, but you know who I'm talking about. No mentions anymore of them. If you can get them, you can get them. But I'm done with them.
I mean, you know, if they come on, they come on, man. I mean, just like everybody, we all friends. You know, we all friends. But I think me and Horror have been consistent with
That's
this.
right. You know where to find us. So
Yeah.
next week, guys, we're gonna do horror. Our special guest will be the Blu-ray outlaw himself.
Yep.
What's your first name? Oh, I just call him Bro. BRO for Blu-ray outlaw.
Bro, yeah, there you go, bro.
Oh, bro.
Nice, bro.
Bro, it will be our guest along with Lucille.
Yeah, that's you gotta put that in the chat in the description, the nickname like Blu-ray Outlaw, aka Bro and shit.
That's right, man.
AKA Lucille's daddy and shit.
Yeah. Oh, Jason's like, fuck. There's all these topics. It's like horror's one of his worst, like his least favorite genres. So he's fuck. I don't know shit. I can't participate in nothing. He's like, I like Gremlins. All right.
The Ghoulies?
Oh, I knew it was Chris, but he's cool with Bro.
I like that. I like that, bro. Oh, shit.
All right, guys. 5 viewing. Shout out to Viz. Good night. Blu-ray Outlaw. He went in hibernation, but woke up real quick when we said horror. He said, huh? Mr. Nichols, as always. Brian, I don't know if you're still there.
Nah, Brian's sleeping, yo. He's knocked the fuck out.
Brian's sleeping. Friday 14th, if you catch the rebroadcast, let us know, man. I saw you did Out and About with and Chatty, so maybe you can do your first live stream too. Jace, as always, and who am I forgetting? That's all who chatted, I think. Oh, and Movie Miles. But anyway,
Leroy didn't pop up in the chat at all.
No, he didn't. I think he was probably off.
Okay.
Off work, so he was probably sleeping.
All right.
From a standpoint, hold on. Ah, they won. Okay. All right, guys. Until next time, John, get a McGriddle in the morning. That's what Visual says.
What the fuck? I'm good. I'm good, Viz.
He's good. All right. Thanks for tuning in to this impromptu live stream. Retro. And there's a lot of people just joining us. But sorry.
Baby.
We out. Watch the rebroadcast or TV shows. What was your number one, John?
Number one.
Right?
Twilight Zone.
Oh, I thought it was In Living Color. Mine was
for variety shows.
Amazing Stories and fuck, I forget. Oh, The Joy of Painting. Yeah.
Yeah, yo.
On that note, peace.
Peace.
This is John and the Blu-ray Hordy signing off.